Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union offers free checking without the fine print. That's right, straightforward and simple. Enjoy no minimum balance requirement, free online statements, free fraud monitoring services, and get an instant issue debit card. Open your free checking account at fmfcu.org/no fine print or at an FMFCU branch. Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union. Membership eligibility applies. Federally insured by NCUA.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
Hey, this is Travis Kelce, NFL tight end and proud member of the Lowe's home team. Lowe's knows when you've got the best price, you've already won. That's why we offer the lowest price guarantee. If you find a better price online or in-store, we'll match it. Now you can score on the top brands from the Lowe's home team picks, like Scotts, LG, and DeWalt. So take on your projects with confidence. Lowe's is the exclusive home improvement retail partner of the NFL.
Price match applies to same item, current price of qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
I think we're lost again.
Wait, what does that sign over there say?
Caution wildlife crossing?
No, next to it.
If you're 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. Ouch. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey. Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America. Fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Don't wait for winter weather to arrive. Pull into a AAA Car Care Center and save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires. Now through November 30th at AAA Car Care Centers. Details at AAA.com/mycar.
It's playoff time, and your Philadelphia Union are up 1-0 in the best-of-3 series against the New England Revolution in the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs. Game 2 is at Gillette Stadium in New England on Wednesday, November 8th at 7 p.m. This is the Union's 6th consecutive season in the playoffs. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to the Union game on 97.5 TheFanatic.com, the Fanatic app, or on your smart speaker. Watch every Union game all season long on MLS Season Pass, presented by Live Casino and Hotel, Philadelphia.
I'm David Keller from David Auto, and what a great time to be a Philly sports fan. Man, I love Philly sports, and I love being your car dealer. Getting my clients the cars they want at the right price is a passion of mine. Cars for every facet of your life, and some of the hottest cars on the planet. So if you're listening, I can be your dealer. For years, you've told me how to be your dealer. I'm just the guy that listens. Enjoy your family, your friends, and our Philly sports, and when you need me and my amazing team, we'll be there for you. Because after all, I have always been your car dealer. You just didn't know it.
Jason Stark plays on one station in Philly, 97.5 The Fanatic.
11:20, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. 11 o'clock hour brought to us by Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged. Ray, you were in here during the commercial break. You saw me enjoying a clementine, which is a delicious item.
It is.
Now, you know that I am weird when it comes to food.
Yes. Oh, food, yeah. That's true.
Weird in general, yes, but also weird when it comes to food takes, and really any take other than sports. Now,
Weird
I know
is the wrong word.
Strange, insane,
I
psychopath.
would use a different W word.
Wild?
Wrong. Usually.
That was a good one. Give you credit.
Thank you.
It's a good line by you.
Yeah.
But the clementine. So here's the deal. You got your apple, your banana, the orange, strawberry, like the main guys. I go plum number one.
What?
Yeah, the plum.
Why? Why do you even?
It's my favorite fruit, dude. I love a plum.
You're lying.
No, I'm not. You can ask Christy.
This is hot take radio.
Every time I go to ShopRite, bag of plums. Bluish hue.
Well, at least you're guaranteed that they're going to be there.
Yeah,
because not a single person.
You see me in the bakery aisle, oatmeal raisin cookie. You know?
Are you just like attacking market inefficiency here? You're like, you know what? Everyone else is going to buy this, so this might be a little.
I'm trying
cheaper.
to help. I'm trying to help inflation here. You know, I don't even know if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. I don't even think what I said made sense.
But yeah, the plum number one.
No, it's not.
A good clementine, because it's a lot of work. It's like
Right.
the orange. Like the orange. As a kid, the orange was my favorite fruit. And since I've adapted, the plum has gone to number one. And you'll get there one day, don't you worry.
I'm never going to get there. You are 75 years old.
The clementine and orange factor of needing to peel it, because that's the hardest one. Right, banana, easy. Phew, you're done.
Right.
Apple, you eat the damn skin. Plum, you eat the skin. Right?
I didn't even know that.
What?
I don't think I've had a plum maybe in my conscious eating lifetime.
Well, they're delicious. So the clementine and orange, because of the work factor that goes into it, you get a good orange, you get a good clementine, I can make the case maybe sometimes they surpass the plum. But after all that work, you bite it and it's a bad one, I don't feel like opening another one up. If the plum's bad, trash, I try the next one. Kiwi, same thing. Nobody's eating the skin of the kiwi. People say it's good for you. Hey, come on, stop. You're eating carpet, just like peaches. Like, peaches aren't good.
Okay, let's relax on that one.
So, the plum number one, but a good clementine, dude, it's up there.
Oh, good clementine is like top 3.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Definitely.
Orange is a little too much.
Our man, Joel Farabee season. You've interacted with him on Twitter before.
Yes.
He says plum's most underrated fruit. He's with me. It's an underrated fruit. People go apple, banana. You go with the top. I get it. I understand why. But the plum, man.
If the plum is in your starting 5, welcome to the process of fruits.
No. The plum, no. Sneaky.
No.
You need the plum.
No, the plum is empty numbers here.
He's the core guy.
Numbers.
He's the core guy. He's Garrett Stubbs. You need the plum.
No, stop. That
need
is
the plum
slander.
on your team.
That
man.
is slander.
But yeah, it was enjoyable clementine. My fingers still smell like clementine.
Yeah, the entire room smells like it now.
It sure does. But the plum deserves a lot more respect out of all of you.
Doesn't.
Just like Joel Embiid needs more respect, the plum needs more respect.
That's what we call a transition.
Damn right we do. Sixers Celtics tonight. How are you watching tonight's game? And I need you to keep the same energy. The same energy if you were to complain about them losing tonight. I can't have you coming on here tomorrow if they win saying, oh, it's just another win in November. Wake me up come playoff time. Because I know you'd be the first to complain if they lose. On the Eagles front, my question for you at 610-632-0975. And I see David wants to talk about it. ESPN's analytics ranking department has the Eagles as the 7th best team in the NFL. 7th. Not even top 5. 7th. Behind the Cowboys, behind the Niners, behind the Ravens, behind the Bills, who are a mess this year, behind the Chiefs. It's despicable. But clearly, this computer department sees something. So I need to know, A, if you want to just rip it, feel free. But B, is there something that we are missing? Can we put our heads together over the next 2.5 hours of the show to find out, all right, what is it? Because we are at the midseason part. Oh, by the way, that same analytics department has the Eagles losing the next 4 games. So Tim McManus, who was a human, did the Eagles midseason report. Everybody who covers a specific team for ESPN.com did this. But Tim put together the one for the Eagles. Here's the what we know. The Eagles' NFC title defense is off to a strong start. The Eagles boast the best record in the NFL. Jalen Hurts is hobbled by a left knee injury, but he has worked his way into the MVP conversation for a second straight year. They have elite offensive and defensive lines and arguably the best receiver tandem in the NFL with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. The last NFC team to lose the Super Bowl and return to the game following year was 1974. That was the Vikings. Philadelphia's on a mission to change that, which I've said since the beginning of the season that I think they are the team that breaks that mold. Not just the Super Bowl, but the NFC East. First time in 18 years, we'll see back-to-back division winners. So that's the what we know. What we don't know yet. Whether the secondary will stabilize over the second half of the season. Injuries led to a rotating cast at both safety and slot corner, and that took its toll. Eagles ranked 29th in pass defense and are tied for the second most passing touchdowns allowed with 19. The expectation is things will settle down in the back end once nickel corner Bradley Roby returns from a shoulder injury after the bye and newly acquired safety Kevin Byard gets comfortable in the system. I agree with part 2. Byard. We had a caller the other day who was complaining about Byard. I haven't seen anything out of him yet. Well, the guy's been here for 10 minutes and had to learn a whole new scheme mid-season. Like, it's one thing if they traded for him during the offseason and he had an entire OTA and training camp, and then he starts weeks 1 and 2 out off poorly. He's learning a whole new system in the middle of a season. The first part, the Roby thing, I can't hang on to Bradley Roby in terms of this will be better. Bradley Roby he was signed off the street and got hurt pretty quickly. I don't know. I think you're kind of in the same boat.
To play the counter to that, though.
Okay.
Out of what we've seen from the guys so far. Well, even in the slot, but I mean, just comparing Byard coming in from another team and Roby coming in off the street.
Roby had the better start.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So hopefully that is correct. The last thing that they did for each of these teams was the stat that defined the first half. The number is 6. The number of consecutive games Brown posted 125-plus receiving yards, an NFL record. It took him just 9 games to go over the 1,000-yard mark, a first in Eagles franchise history. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are making life pretty easy for Hurts by NFL standards. Over the past 2 games, Hurts has a 92% completion rate with 5 touchdowns and no interceptions when targeting Smith and Brown. How absurd is that? 92% completion percentage when he targets those 2 guys over the last 2 games. That's quite literally wild.
They're going to have to outlaw the passes to them.
I went on a rant about a month ago. Screw spreading the wealth. Just target A.J. Brown. Well, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. 92%?
That works for me, especially when you're about to live in a world without Dallas Goedert.
Yes.
Forget any spreading of the wealth. Just go to those 2 receivers.
For at least the next 3 games. At least the next 3 games. By the way, the chances to make the playoffs, per the ESPN analytics department, more than 99.9%.
That's good.
Chances to win their division is 86.3. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to David in San Antonio. David, you're on The Fanatic.
Oh, man, I was having a great day until you gave that AI report, and now I'm fuming. You ever seen a cartoon where the head blows off on a guy and the smoke comes out of his ears? Well, that's me right now. Look, it's crazy. We're not missing anything. We're missing watching competence on television is what we're missing. Because yesterday, oh, my God, I thought the Eagles lost. They gave Dak Prescott the biggest participation award I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it doesn't matter that he stepped out of bounds. Of course it does. It was at the end of the game. He took a sack. Oh, it doesn't matter. It could happen to anyone. No, it only happens to that bonehead dude. He did the same thing last year where he runs, tries to scamper for a first down. He comes up short, runs out the clock, and gives the ball to the center instead of the referee. Everybody knows that when you're in Pop Warner.
Yeah, and how about running out of bounds on a 2-point conversion? He had every chance to score. He ran out of bounds.
He's a bonehead. And they gave him the participation award. And he's got that poop kicker grin on his face yesterday doing an interview because he's happy that he wasn't the reason that they lost, according to the media. Yes, you was, bonehead. You were the reason that they lost. And, oh, my God, I don't look at the power rankings for ESPN because you know what it's hitting for. Like, you know right away what they're going to do.
Yeah, but no, David, this is the computer. The computer. It's not even some guy.
The computer didn't do that. The humans did that.
You think Stephen A. is putting together these power rankings?
Huh?
You think Stephen A. is putting together these power rankings?
He could be. You know what? My feeling is they all want to ride on the yacht. I'm like, Jesus Christ, can't you guys pool your money and buy your own yacht?
Probably.
Instead of being Dallas Propaganda Network? It's crazy to me. Oh, my God.
I can't believe they have Dallas at number 6. The Eagles are at 7.
Yeah, 6 squared. 6 squared. Miami, please. We dismantled Miami.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm calling it now. The Eagles are going to go 3-1 in this so-called gauntlet. They're going to go 3-1, not 0-4, 3-1. And by the time we get to Dallas on my birthday, December 10th,
all right, happy birthday.
It'll be done. It'll be done. I'm sick of it.
Oh, did you say December 7th?
December the 10th.
Oh, 10th. Okay, I was about to say you share the birthday with my father. But anyways, we're all December. I'm a December 19th, so we're December babies, David. I appreciate the call, man. December babies. It's a good time. Now, by the way, to let the people know who are listening, we are on YouTube. We'll go technical difficulties as to why we weren't on YouTube for the first hour and change of the show. Technical difficulties will be the answer. You have a response to the plum?
Yeah, some people have responses to your plum. The fake checking. Get out of that studio while you still can. You're with a serial killer. A plum? Dawood checking in. Dickie, saying a plum is your favorite fruit is equivalent to you saying my favorite NBA player is Rudy Gobert.
That's not true because I hate Rudy Gobert.
But no,
he's the biggest fraud in the NBA.
Yeah, but that's the plum equivalent.
No, he's the biggest fraud in the NBA.
Yeah, the plum is a fraud of a fruit. I mean, you just walked right into that one.
No, it's not.
It's a fraud.
No, it's not. You just said you didn't. You just literally said you don't know that you eat the skin of a plum. That means you haven't had one
in a while. Probably my conscious food-consuming life. I can guarantee
I'm going to bring in some
plums.
plums.
It once when I was younger, didn't like it, never saw it again.
Well, your palate changes.
I'm going to go out on a limb here.
I'm going to bring in plums.
You said it's the best fruit out there.
It's up there. Yeah.
No. Don't back off this. You said
seed.
number 1.
No, it's number 1. A good plum's number 1.
That is the 1 seed that will lose to the 16. That is the Virginia of 1 seeds. That's out.
Who's the 16th seed?
UMBC.
A raisin?
Oh, yeah. I'll take the raisin over the plum. Easily. You like raisins. You get the oatmeal raisin.
I do.
Yeah.
But I like the oatmeal part of the cookie.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, come on, man. Don't give me this. Don't give me this. 1 seed losing the 16th.
It is. Most certainly. An undeserved 1 seed. What the selection committee see in that one?
By the way, Mike Vito has checked in. He's happy that YouTube's back up and running.
That's good.
YouTube is back up and running. Technical difficulties the first hour plus of the show. All right, let's go back to the phones. Brian in Cherry Hill wants to talk about these ESPN rankings. What's up, Brian?
Yo. First, great analogy. The plum, yeah, UVA,
Stop. The plum is delicious.
But a bad plum is going to lose to the 16 seed. A good plum is going to win the tournament. I agree with you on that.
But I mean, look, good, bad fruit. Anything that's bad stinks. Like, I just went on the clementine. The clementine is a top-tier fruit when it's a good one. But when you take that bad bite of a clementine, it goes right into the trash.
It could be bad. Oh, yeah.
You know, the apple, when you take a bite, there's no crisp and it's just soggy. That's a bad apple.
Just like the Seinfeld episode, bad fruit.
Yes.
Got to stand behind your fruit.
Hey, see that, Ray? Plum could win it all.
Okay.
All right, so I'm not alone here. Thank you, Brian.
Brian, come on.
You
don't believe it.
You got it. On the Eagles, you know what the computers can't do? They can't analyze potential, and they can't analyze skill. They analyze numbers. We've watched. Dallas has had some great games against some crappy teams. Miami put up a 70 spot. The computers see those numbers. The Eagles have played like crap all season. And not crap like a bad team, but they played like crap for what they can do. And the computer can't determine that. When the Eagles play their best ball, there's not a team in the league that can beat them. And you know what? The computer will learn that in February when they win the Super Bowl. So there we go.
I feel like the computer's going to blow up, and it should. Like, I feel like we should do the Office Space and take the computer out and beat it up with a bat, because it's getting kind of annoying. Like, you're right. They only see numbers. They don't see potential. And that's why I think we put too much stock into analytics. Also in sports, one of my least favorite things in baseball is a guy could go 4 for 4, but the next day his splits aren't good against that opposing pitcher, so we're not going to play him. Well, if the guy's hot, he might see the ball better.
It's awful. You look at the playoffs, when the Phillies, the first game or two, they're barreling the ball up against the Marlins, but they weren't hitting home runs, but the swings were good, right? The eye test. The next few games, they came out and they crushed it. It's all about, too much in sports, we rely on numbers and not what we see on the field. You got to use the eyes. And the Eagles are the best team in football.
Yep. Brian, listen, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you for your plum appreciation.
Karate Mark saying that if the plum is in your starting five, you're clearly tanking.
Maybe you guys don't see the vision I see.
Sure, man.
Everybody thought, you can't get to the NBA Finals as an 8 seed, like the Miami Heat. What happened? They got there. You guys just don't see the same vision I see. Or have the same taste buds that I have.
Well, no, we all know that. We're all very aware of that.
So last night, I was on the phone with Bob Cooney.
Well, that's nice.
Late. It was like 8 o'clock. Cooper,
late.
What do you know? Well, listen, dude. How many times are you on the phone at 8 o'clock?
How many times am I on the phone? Period.
So Bob and I are on the phone. I had to take Cooper to the doctor's last night. Shocker. And so I finally was able to return Bob's call. And it was 8 o'clock. We were all over the place. We were finally eating dinner. But it was like an easy dinner. Like, it's okay that I was on the phone. And I got we had a rotisserie chicken in the fridge. I just pulled the leg off and started eating it right out of the fridge. And Bob's on the phone. There's Chrissy in the background. Can you heat it up? This is how I like it. And Bob's cracking up on the other end.
I mean, see, I don't blame you on that one.
Let me eat the food I want to eat.
But the heating up thing, I've always been more on your side with this. There's some egregious examples with you, but by and large, if you're hungry and you like the taste of it, doesn't matter, heat, cold.
Let me live my life.
Yes.
I've never happy, okay?
I've never had a problem with that so much when it comes to your food takes. It's the actual food in which you are eating that always has me questioning.
Dude, I like an apple. Yeah, I like a banana. Plum's number one.
It's just not.
Wait. Plum's Tyrese Maxey. You're sleeping on him. You draft him 21st overall. Bam. Hell of a talent. Let's go to Solus Ryan.
That's the worst thing you've ever said about Tyrese Maxey. That's the worst thing you've ever said about Philadelphia athletes.
What's up, Solus Ryan? What's going on, man?
Goodness, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good, brother. So real quick, I agree. The plum is underappreciated. Yep. A good plum, I'm not saying it's the best, but a good plum is, I put it in the top 3, man, without question.
Top three. See, Ray's throwing his hands up in the air. You don't understand.
A good, bad fruit, whatever, but like a good plum, I put it, it's up there, man.
I'm working with a bad talent evaluator. What can I say? He's a Roco guy,
If you want to try something interesting, try roasting it.
Oh.
Try a roasted plum, and I guarantee you it'll blow your mind.
All right.
So real quick about, birds, I think whoever programmed that, the analytic thing is probably a cockroach fan. So I throw that away. Anything ESPN does or says, it's always anti-Philadelphia. So whoever programmed.
Well, no, that's the thing. That's the problem because people are trying to give robots human emotion. So because it's an ESPN thing, they hate Philadelphia. So the robots are learning.
Absolutely, they programmed it, and
kind of freaks me out. To be honest, they're coming after us first.
Scary, all these movies and everything, man. Even books. It seems those guys had a crystal ball. It's kind of freaky. Now Embiid, hold on. So, disrespecting Embiid. All right. There's one thing to be critical about him, which I definitely am. I'm starting to ease. I mean, we had every right to be. He didn't have an MVP.
Game 6 and Game 7, he deserved to be ripped.
Yes, not disrespected, because disrespect. You'll swim with the fishes. But he definitely deserves the criticism. But what a difference night and day when you have a good coach. And I am so impressed with how the team is responding. I'm so impressed with everything that's going on right now because, not knocking Doc Rivers, but, quite frankly, I think he was an overrated coach, big time. and you can just see how the teams responded to him. Different coaches, different teams. But then again, the dude, his playoff record speaks for itself.
Right.
But I've never seen a team. I won't say never, but I can't recall the last time I saw a team respond to a coach in this way. And if we get another player, I'm going to be, I will eat my words and put my foot in my mouth and say that I kind of was thinking about trading Embiid.
And look, you're not alone, man. So I'm not going to crush you for that. I do think it was ludicrous because if you trade Joel Embiid, you're back to where you were before you got him. And I love Tyrese Maxey as much as the next guy. And thanks for the call, Ryan. I love Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey with this roster, I'll say it again, is a playing team. Plum takes a side. Tyrese Maxey with this team is a playing team. Joel Embiid's the reason why you're a top 4 seed with Tyrese Maxey and this roster. So the whole I wanted to trade Joel Embiid for what? I remember taking an email from a guy right after the Sixers Celtics series, and it was trade Joel Embiid, Bill with Maxey, B-Ball Paul, and Jaden Springer. What have you seen through 6 games this year to make you think that that's actually something that you're going to win with? Maxey, yes, with pieces, with Embiid. Look, I know people love Out the Mud and Jaden Springer won MVP in the G League. Okay? The reason why it's the G League. He looks overmatched at times through the first 6 games of the season, and Paul Reed is a nice backup to Joel Embiid. I would not be surprised if they get it back up big at some point during this year. We could trust a little bit more. But he's looking better this year. And that's, we go back to the narrative thing. Pretty honest, I don't necessarily love the way Paul Reed plays basketball. But when he has a good night, I'm the first guy to celebrate. Whereas a lot of Sixers fans, when something good happens, you stay quiet, but when something bad happens, you're the first to complain. So let's talk about that more. Coming up next, 610-632-0975. Also, so we have our next chance to win a spot for 2 to our Clearwater trip for Philly spring training in March of 2024. You'll also win a $25 Rally House gift card. And I saw a tweet last night about the Eagles that kind of answered one of my questions that I asked you earlier this week, or we talked about earlier this week. And I'll try to remind your brain at some point next segment and then explain what I saw yesterday. And I went, oh, wow, maybe my food takes and sports takes are right. I'm Andrew Salchunas. This is the Midday Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Battle of Boston tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Ashley Home Stores. Mattress free for all. Make a fresh start in your new home with a fresh look from Ashley. Shop now for amazing deals on furniture, mattresses, decor, and so much more. Ashley, America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Feels good to be home. The 76ers host the Celtics tonight. Sixers have won 5 in a row, entering the game 5-1, tied with the Celtics for the best record in the Eastern Conference. First matchup of the 2 teams since the Sixers collapsed in the second round last season in Game 6, and of course the blowout in Game 7. Joel Embiid enters the game coming off a 48-point performance in 3 quarters versus the Wizards. Catch the game live at 7 o'clock right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keith Pompei will join Andrew coming up at 12:30 to preview the matchup and talk about the early season success for the 76ers. Flyers fell to the Sharks 2-1 last night. San Jose entered the game winless on the season. Flyers have now lost 5 of their last 6. Back in action on Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks. Eagles enjoying the bye, coming off the big 28-23 win over the Cowboys. The Eagles with the best record in the NFL. Union postseason series with the New England Revolution continues tonight. They hold a 1-0 advantage in the best of 3. You can catch the live call on WWDB and streaming at 97.5thefanatic.com. Keep it locked to your Phillies news and information. I'm Ray Dunn on the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Tyrone Johnson, Ricky Batalico, and Jen Scordo. The best show ever. Listen weekday afternoons 2 to 6. The Eagles, the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Flyers. We have you covered all day, every day. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hi, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs by up to 30%. This month only. Check out this offer. Window Nation's offering 0% interest for 5 years. Are you kidding me? Nobody's doing this in business. That's 60 months interest-free. And Get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. So you're protecting your family from the elements, you're lowering your energy costs, you're upgrading the look of your home, and you're feeling just so good about the deal you got from Window Nation. 5 years interest-free? That's nuts. Call. 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, but in November, that's 0% interest for 5 years. Call the company over 200,000 families have trusted with their home. Window Nation. Call 866-90-NATION. Go to windownation.com. Tell them Kincaid sent you.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
In these parts, when it comes to winter, it's not if it snows, but when. The only question is how much do you want to deal with it? How much do you want your back to hurt? How much do you want to get a new Aaron snow thrower during the Snowvember sales event? We're celebrating impending snowfalls with up to $150 off select models of America's best-built, best-selling snow throwers, as well as free extended warranty. But hurry, the Snowvember sales event is only for a limited time and only at your local Aaron's dealer. Aaron's.
When you open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the energy of being all in, the passion of a perfect parlay, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's another opportunity to win big every day of the week. Sign up for Bet Parks and get a welcome offer today. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
Must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
ABC Tonight.
It's country music's biggest night.
The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and K. Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney. Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton. Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town. And more.
The best in country music!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host.
The CMA Awards live.
Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream next day on Hulu.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Hess truck's back and it's better than ever. To the rescue this year. The Hess truck's here.
It's the Hess police truck and cruiser with sirens, lights, wheelie action, and battering ram. Free shipping and batteries included. Only at HessToyTruck.com.
Don't wait for winter weather to arrive. Pull into a AAA car care center and save up to $150 on select sets of 4 Vredestein tires. Now through November 30th at AAA car care centers. Details at AAA.com/mycar.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
I've got the best way to kickstart your holiday shopping. Go to Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spas for their exclusive pre-sale Black Friday BOGO event. It's buy one, get one Black Friday gift card. Purchase a gift card at any of their 60 Philadelphia area Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations at guest pricing and receive a free promotional gift card. If you're on the hunt for special online deals, explore their exclusive online offers. You're going to love Hand & Stone Massage and Facial Spas. Restrictions do apply. See the spa for more details and tell them Kincaid sent you.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
$11:50, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Your chance to head to Clearwater. Sunny Clearwater for Philly spring training coming up in 10 minutes. We've been doing this every day this week. We'll continue to do it the rest of this week, and we'll do it every day next week at 8 a.m., noon, and 4. We will do a certain number caller. It's always 15. A certain number caller will win a $25 Rally House gift card. But then you will also be in the running for the grand prize, which is a trip for two to sunny Clearwater for Philly spring training in March of 2024. So make sure you're listening within the next couple of minutes when we make the announcement. By the way, a lot of plum love coming in.
I don't know what bubble you're living in, but I've gotten quite the opposite.
My man Schaefer checks in. Oh, let me pull it up. He said, I normally think your food options and opinions are insane.
Okay.
But I'm actually with you on the plum. Ripe plum is a top tier fruit.
You know what? I'm actually going to chalk that one up as a victory for me because he acknowledged that you're usually off base. 1 for 10 is still just bat 100, so that's fine. We got Andy checking in with us. I'm with you, Ray. The plum is an absolute atrocious. What are we even doing here? What are we going to be eating figs next?
I love a good Fig Newton.
Of course you do.
Ricky Bobby, that was his main sponsor.
I know it was his main sponsor.
Oh, Fig Newtons are delicious.
Yeah, okay. And Jesse checking in. The king of bad takes strikes again. And this is again strictly off of sports.
Jesse still hates me for the GoldenEye take. GoldenEye's the worst video game of all time.
Correct.
But yeah, like I said, life takes greater than sports takes. I don't want to waste your time when it comes to like you tune in for sports talk, legit sports talk. There's a lot of people that live and die by the hot take that go over the top when it comes to sports. With life takes, I'll go toe for toe with anybody. But it's how I truly feel. I truly feel that the plum is a superior fruit to like basically everything else. So
I don't know. This is just a bad take.
No, you can't.
This is the terrible hill for you to plant your flag on.
It's how I feel. So just leave me be.
I'm not going to actually.
All right. Back to sports. Back to legit takes. And it's something I said earlier this week, right? And let me jog your memory. We were talking about Brian Johnson and Sean Desai. And we were talking about in-game adjustments. And it seems like Sean Desai, in the beginning of the season, had great game plans, didn't really need to make adjustments, but teams started coming back on them. Now, you could chalk it up to Eagles are up big, so you're going to sag off, let them get a lot of yards. Who cares if you score a touchdown when you're up 3 touchdowns, that kind of stuff. But it just seemed like as games went on, Sean Desai didn't have the answer for the adjustment that the opposing offensive coordinator made at halftime. Whereas in Brian Johnson's case, Brian Johnson, I thought, to start the season, had a horrible game plan. Horrible. But to the conversation we had earlier today, as people in life, not just sports, in life, you should give credit where credit is due. If there's something that you disagree, if there's a person that you don't like, but they did something good, give them credit for it, right? So early in the year, Brian Johnson, I thought the game plans were horrible, but he made good halftime adjustments. Halftime adjustments against the Vikings, halftime adjustments against the Buccaneers. And so I give him that credit. And I go, all right, so all he needs to do is really shore up the opening drive, the 15 plays, all that kind of stuff. And I said to you earlier this week, I know today's only Wednesday, so it's either Monday or Tuesday, that I feel like he is now flipped, where the opening drives have been good, now leading to touchdowns as opposed to field goals or punts or going for it on 4th down and not getting it. And it seems like the opening drive's been great, but then his adjustments haven't been necessarily tremendous. Even though the Commanders game, he scored, 21 points in the second half? So I'll give him that credit. That was like a full, good game plan, even though it was boring. Whatever. It doesn't have to be sexy. So Warren Sharp, you've heard of this man, I'm sure.
Yes.
He's like a big NFL analytics guy. So, look at this. We're back at analytics. But this is just numbers. This isn't like, Eagles are trending upward. Here are the average yards gained on opening drives. I'll start with the absolute bottom. The New York Jets. You want to guess how many yards they gain on their opening drive?
On average.
On average. We're now 9 games in the season for a lot of teams.
13.
6.6.
Wow.
They're not even averaging a first down. Every other team is double digits.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
The New York Jets are at 6.6. The New York Giants, some teams in the division, the New York Giants are at 21.8. So they at least get 2 first downs on their opening drive.
What place is that?
Huh? That is
make you count up from the
fifth at the bottom.
Fifth to the worst. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, it makes me feel better at 13.
The Commanders are toward the middle, still bottom half at 31.9. Majority of that might be against the Eagles, for all I know. The Dallas Cowboys not much higher than the Commanders at 35.6. Let me look at some of the teams that are above the Eagles in the ESPN Power Rankings. Kansas City Chiefs are averaging 36.9 yards on their opening drive, first 15 plays. The Buffalo Bills, right behind them at 36.3. The Cowboys right beneath them at 35.6, as I just mentioned. The Miami Dolphins, right, the big, flashy offense, 49.2. That's 5th best in the NFL. Second best in the NFL is the San Francisco 49ers at 57.1 yards per opening drive. The Philadelphia Eagles are number 1 at 65.1. So 8 yards higher than the second best team, which is the San Francisco 49ers. So that tells you if you start at the 25, like most teams do, you're getting inside the red zone on almost every opening drive at this point in the season now. The Philadelphia Eagles have the best total average yards gained on opening drives. And the only reason why I bring this up is because we randomly talked about this either yesterday or Monday, that I feel like Brian Johnson has flipped the script in terms of now his opening drive's been great. Halftime adjustments, not so much. So I feel like this guy, I haven't been the biggest fan of Brian Johnson so far, but they're 8-1. They're scoring a decent amount of points. Like, Tyrone's a big Brian Johnson guy. I hear him on the best show ever all the time, talking about he really likes Brian Johnson more than most people. I think it's safe to say this guy has a clue. He doesn't stink, right? Remember 2-3 weeks in their season, we're taking calls. I had an email and a caller say that it was a nepotism hire. He only got hired because he knows Jalen Hurts. But it looks like he has a clue. At first, he wasn't great with the opening drives, but it led to good second-half adjustments. Now it looks like he's starting off the games better than he did. Maybe, just maybe, he figures it out during the bye week. But that number is promising. Because you look at the top teams, it's Eagles 1, Niners 2. Shockingly, the Broncos are 3. But then it's Bengals 4, Dolphins 5. So 4 out of the 5 teams are playoff teams.
Yeah, and I could be sometimes a little bit of a loser nerd with some of the stats I'll go into and dive. And, I love my rankings and how we got to the red zone offense so early into the season because I go into these things. Looking at just in terms of yards per play, and then I like to go look at the yards per pass attempt because that's, to me, it's the driving engine. Obviously, when you have a quarterback in this league at this time in football, passing offense, the driving engine. Yards per play, they're a little bit off of where they were a year ago, but not too far. They're at 5.5 right now. They're at 5.8. And when they look at the yards per pass attempt, it was 7.9 a season ago. It's 7.7 now. So the offense has started to gear its way back towards where you would expect it to be after a slow start. And, over the last 3 games, it's 8.8 yards per pass play. Like, they're starting to really pick things up in terms of pass attempt, excuse me. That's not including your sacks in there. But they're starting to really pick things up to what you would expect out of this offense. Now, it's not been as sexy as it had been at times a season ago.
No.
But they're starting to convert, starting to move the ball.
A.J. Brown is over 1,000 yards receiving.
Right.
He's 1,000 yards receiving. They played 9 games. So clearly the ball's moving downfield. It's now getting everybody else involved, right? And you started seeing it in Dallas Goedert. Devontae Smith has had a couple of good weeks now. Really, the biggest thing is they kind of got to get that ground game back. And that's why I wanted to trade for a running back at the deadline, because I like DeAndre Swift, and he's clearly their lead back. I don't think they necessarily trust him all the time. Those 2 fumbles probably definitely didn't help that either. And maybe he might be losing a bit of steam because last year he was hurt, but he was also, going back and forth with Williams. He was stealing all the touchdowns. So maybe, just maybe, I know that I would have preferred another back, but maybe that's what it is. But as we've said 100 times now, this bye week has come at an absolute perfect time for the Eagles. But it's just good to know that it seems like the offense is getting better. You give those numbers, the opening drive numbers, all of a sudden they're top in the NFL. They're number 1. So it shows that they're getting up there. Now, all they need to do is convert those into touchdowns. And to the James Palmer clip that we played a bunch of times yesterday when he was on with the best show ever, the Eagles' red zone issues have been a problem this year. It's been a problem across the NFL. There must be something that teams have noticed how to defend, not just the Eagles, but offenses in the red zone this year. And that's the beauty of sports. That's the beauty of NFL. It's all about adjustments, right? At some point, we're going to probably see good running backs again. You know why? Because defenses are getting smaller. And so linebackers are getting smaller. And corners are getting smaller because you're built to now protect the pass. And at some point, there's going to be a team that goes, oh, yeah, we'll try to stop our beast of a running back. I bet you can't. Like, that's why Derrick Henry, even though the Titans stink, Derrick Henry's still a beast. Because it's hard to stop that guy. It really is. So it'll be interesting to see what happens as this season goes on for the Eagles in terms of the red zone. But clearly, they're getting downfield pretty quickly, which is important to go up 7-0 to start the game. All right, it's 12 o'clock. Hopefully, I can send you to Clearwater.
97.5 The Fanatic. Win a free trip for 2 to spring training 2024.
All right, absolutely excited for this. We do this 3 times a day, and we will do it all next week as well at 8, noon, and 4. And, of course, it's noon, so your next chance. 15th caller right now to the contest line, 215-263-0975. That's caller 15 to the contest line, 215-263-0975. Will automatically win a $25 Rally House gift card. It's your city, it's your house, it's Rally House. And you'll also be entered to win a trip for 2 to spring training 2024, courtesy of our friends at phillysportshirts.com. Of course, all this happening on 97.5 The Fanatic. Your next chance will be at 4 o'clock with the best show ever, tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Or you can enter it for your chance at 97.5thefanatic.com. And this is going to be an absolute blast. And I hope that the winners from this show, and if it happens to be at 8 o'clock or 4 o'clock, it's okay. But I hope it's from this show because I will be there with Philly Sports Shirts March 1st to the 4th. So it will be really nice if you're one of our winners that I can buy you a beer down there. Or you can buy me a beer because you won it during the program. Or we buy each other beers.
Best kind of friendship.
Yeah. Never mind. I was about to say, the whole, I got this round, you get next round. You might as well just pay for him beers.
No, I actually, no, I don't.
No, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I do. You're ultimately still paying this much.
No, but I think I like the idea of, you can kind of relax here. Let me go take care of this. I mean, if you're sitting at the bar,
yeah.
but more in a bigger social.
Yes, I agree.
Bigger social setup, going up
where you hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just funny. It ends up evening out.
Right. Well, again, ideally, in a good friendship, that's how it ends up working. It ends up evening out. Everybody works.
Sucks is when you're out with the person where I got this one, and they don't get you the one back.
Right.
And it's
Well, I always feel sorry to take you within. There's a group that I go out with, and there's usually 3 or 4 of us that'll do that kind of setup. And I always feel for that because I remember distinctly one night where I kind of forced us to stay out because I was like, no. I haven't yet bought the round here.
I got you.
I don't want to be the guy that just hops in
you.
Yeah, but I don't want to be the one that hops in the car home and everyone's like, hey, this was the one guy in the place that didn't want
to leave and we're all tired.
Well, no, that didn't pay for it.
Oh, I got you.
I didn't want to leave because I didn't want to be the one that didn't pay. I was the 4th one out of the 4 to get the round.
That's why you just get it first.
Well,
be aggressive, man.
I like the idea of the first one being taken care of for me so I could kind of keep socializing.
I hear you. All right, so I read you the Eagles midseason report from Tim McManus. And all of this is coupled with their power index, where the Eagles are somehow the 7th best team in the NFL. Not number 1, not even top 2, not even top 3, but 7th. And the team that's ahead of them is the Dallas Cowboys, Ray. So here's what we know from ESPN about the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys defense will be able to affect the quarterback and take the ball away. But it has done that since Dan Quinn took over as a defensive coordinator in 2021. That's also when linebacker Micah Parsons arrived. He has 7.5 sacks this season and 52 pass rush wins in 8 games. The Cowboys have 13 takeaways, and cornerback Deron Bland, replacing an injured Trayvon Diggs, leads the league with 3 pick sixes. But in the bigger games, they need to come up bigger, which they didn't do against the Niners or Eagles. Okay? What we don't know yet, are the Cowboys a real Super Bowl contender? I can tell you right now, no. Their 5 wins have come against teams with a combined record of 15-28. In their biggest test against the Niners and Eagles, they lost. But the loss that is actually galling is the one to the Arizona Cardinals in Week 3. If the Cowboys season ends without a playoff game, that will be the loss that haunts them. 4 out of their next 5 games are at home, where they have won 11 straight, and the road game is a 1-win Carolina team. They almost have to be 9-3 going into December with 4 of 5 games against teams currently with winning records. The stat that defined them in the first half, the offense is 44% red zone success. After leading the NFL in red zone percentage last year, the Cowboys are 29th in 2023. They are tied for 31st in goal-to-goal scenarios, which is 50% better than only Denver. The recent loss to Philadelphia epitomized the issues. They got to the Eagles' 6-yard line with 27 seconds left and could not score a winning touchdown. They can drive the ball, 6.4 plays per drive, which is number 2 in the league, but they have to finish drives with touchdowns. Wow, sounds like something we complained about through the first, 5-6 weeks of the season? At least the Eagles have gotten better at that, where it seems like the Cowboys have not. Now, something I haven't even thought about, that maybe the Cowboys don't even make the playoffs. That would just be incredible. That'd be the icing on the cake. Don't hold your breath. I know, they're going to make it. Let's see. Can I do the way too early look at the 2023 NFL playoff picture? Of course I will. Let's see. Eagles number 1, Lions 2, Niners 3, Saints 4. Seahawks, the top wild card team, followed by the Cowboys, and then the Vikings in the playoff hunt right now.
Yeah. So you have a little bit of cushion.
Yeah, the teams that are still fighting, Commanders, no. Falcons, hell no. Buccaneers, no. Packers, no. I'm going to skip the next team for strategic purposes. Giants, Bears, Panthers, Cardinals, no. The team that I skipped, the LA Rams, who are 3-6 on the season. They, like the Eagles, have their bye week this week. So the Eagles are going to get healthy during the bye week. The Rams are going to have a quarterback catch up to speed. If you missed it yesterday, Carson Wentz has been signed by the LA Rams. I'm going to say something that I've said in the past about Wentz and that I've said about Ben Simmons in the past. And I know there's a lot of you who are stronger-willed people than me and maybe have much more to do in your lives than I do. I'm going to pay attention to this like crazy because I can't get enough of it. Good or bad. Like, the guy could be terrible. I will still watch it. Because of where we were, there are a lot of people that are like, the past is the past. I'm over it. It's not that I'm rooting for the guy. No. I have to watch and see how Carson Wentz does. Just like I have to watch and see how Ben Simmons does with the Nets. And when he eventually gets traded by the Nets, how he looks with the next team. We put so much time, energy, money into supporting these guys. And it just blew up. Like that. Right? Wentz was playing like the MVP, gets hurt, falls wins the Super Bowl. He comes out the next year, doesn't look great, but he has the back injury. Then the following season looks good to an extent. They get in the playoffs, then the Jadeveon Clowney hit. Hurts comes, it's a mess. He goes to the Colts. Maybe it's better here. He's closer to home. He's throwing passes left-handed out of his own end zone, throwing pick sixes. And he goes to the Commanders. I thought the Commanders actually were going to be decent with Wentz. Here's why. Good defensive front. Great weapons. Terrible offensive line, which Wentz could not handle, clearly, when the Eagles sacked him 9 times. And then he's kicked out of there, too. And here he is now, signing with the Rams. And I can't help but say with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. It's not like he's going to, I don't know, pick a team with no weapons, the Giants. It's not like he's going to the Panthers. He's going with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. How can you not have a little interest in watching? Do you, Ray?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Of course I'm
not saying rooting as a fan or anything.
Not rooting for or against. Just curious.
I need to see it.
I said at some point in the last couple of weeks where I was, or maybe in the last week, I think it was, like, if you're Carson Wentz sitting here watching just the carnage at the quarterback position right now, how do you feel that you haven't gotten a phone call? Clearly, I'm still thinking about his situation just because it was so wild here, you know?
It was insane. And how it just was a fall from grace because he was the darling of all of our eyes. MVP. And then just collapsed. Now, the beauty is of next week, because they are also on the bye. Eagles play Monday night. Rams-Seahawks is America's game of the week at 4:25. I will be sitting down on the couch, locking in to see how he does.
Is Stafford going to be back?
No, I think them signing Carson Wentz is a telltale sign that Stafford's not coming back. I don't know. Why would they sign him just to be backup?
You need a job. We need someone that's,
serviceable,
competent behind Matt Stafford because he hasn't proven to be able to stay healthy.
I don't know. Maybe. If he's the starting quarterback, then how about that? I'm locking in. I'll ask this question at 610-632-0975. It's the number to respond. Do you care anymore? And not care as in like you have a certain feeling toward the guy of like, oh man, he was the quarterback that led us to the Super Bowl run. They wouldn't have won the Super Bowl without Foles. Not that, because I do still believe that. But I got to ask you, do you even care? Like when you see Carson Wentz signs with the LA Rams, do you get any sort of reaction to that? Because when I saw it, I was like, holy hell, I got something to watch next Sunday. I'm watching football regardless. But I'm watching game 1 of Carson Wentz with the Rams specifically. Do you care anymore? 610-632-0975. Also, Sixers Talk with Keith Pompei coming your way next at 12:30 right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers Celtics tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. You may always need new water heater, but when you do, choose Bradford White. 76ers host the Celtics tonight, 6-1-5 in a row. Enter the game 5-1, tied with the Celtics with the best record in the Eastern Conference. First matchup of the two teams since the Sixers collapsed in the second round last year against the Celtics. Joel Embiid enters tonight's game coming off a 48-point performance in 3 quarters against the Wizards. Catch the game live at 7 o'clock right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keith Pompei join the show coming up in the next segment at 12:30 to talk all things Sixers and get you set for the matchup. Flyers fell to the Sharks 2-1 last night. San Jose entered the game winless on the season. Flyers have now lost 5 of their last 6. Back in action on Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks. Eagles enjoying the bye, coming off the big 28-23 win over the Cowboys. Still have the best record in the NFL. Union postseason series with New England Revolution continues tonight. They hold a 1-0 advantage in the best of 3. You catch the live call on WWDB and streaming at 975thefanatic.com. This update is also brought to you by Pearls California-grown black ripe olives. Pearls black ripe olives have nothing added but sea salt and water. No artificial colors or preservatives. For quality you can trust, look for the sunny yellow can at your local grocery store. Keep it locked here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn on the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The Philadelphia 76ers play here. Every game home and away. We'll have the play-by-play tonight. Presented by Corona, official partner of the 76ers, the Phila Cerveza. This is the exclusive home for Sixers basketball. 97.5 The Fanatic.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-205-3400. 800-205-3400. 800-205-3400.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just call 800-518-8447 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Call 800-518-8447 right now. Don't wait. Call 800-518-8447. 800-518-8447.
Hey, it's Jen Scordo. As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. Just $5. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on all the action. The app is super easy to use. There's such a huge range of betting options, including spreads, player props, overs and unders, and more. I love choosing who's going to score the first touchdown. Pick your favorite player, plug it in. Get the over-under on passing or rushing yards for your favorite quarterback, and add in an anytime touchdown. Hit that money line too. And boom, you've got a same-game parlay. Visit FanDuel.com/Scordo. That's FanDuel.com/Scordo, my last name, and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel is an official partner of the NFL.
1-1 plus in President PA. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame moneyline wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets. Expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Honey, come here, quick.
What is it?
Shh. Check it out. The prices on all these highly rated tequilas are amazing. Total Wine must have made a mistake.
Nope, they always have the best deals in town. Remember that amazing reposado your sister brought over last week? See, it's right here.
Whoa, that's a low price. I mean, whoa, that's a low price.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly. B21.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you've always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can't name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stuff.
This year, Staples will not be celebrating the holidays. Instead, we're celebrating the Holiday Deals with amazing savings for the holiday season. Save 50% on custom holiday cards, save 50% on custom invitations, and save 50% on custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. During Staples Holiday Deals, it's not about the ho-ho-ho, it's about saving do-do-do. Save 50% on custom cards, invitations, and photo gifts today at Staples. Ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly.
Protect your engine better with Syntec Full Synthetic High Mileage Motor Oil, only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec High Mileage is formulated for today's engines with over 75,000 miles. Now get 5 quarts of Syntec High Mileage and a MicroGuard Select oil filter for just $34.99. Limit supply. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. Get 6 times longer lasting freshness plus odor protection with Downy Unstoppables in wash scent beads.
We're all here for the same reason. Philadelphia sports. 97.5 The Fanatic.
$12:20, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Got just a lot of stuff going on today. It's bye week, right? So we're not really focusing on an upcoming matchup for the Eagles. But I got some, content courtesy of our friends at ESPN saying that the Eagles aren't good at all. According to their power index, their analytics department, the Eagles are the 7th best team in the NFL. And they're going to lose their next 4 games, according to the computer system, which is just absolutely ridiculous. By the way, at 12 o'clock hours, brought to us by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months. And a $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Eagles front. Sixers front, excuse me. One more thing with the NFL. Carson Wentz signs with the Rams yesterday. Could be the starting quarterback next week for the Rams. Do you care anymore? Like, I'm going to be locked in. I will be. I'm sorry. I will be locked in watching that game to see what this guy is, because we saw the high of Carson Wentz. And since then, we have seen nothing but lows. But, let's face it, right? Dude probably still has a cannon of an arm. Still strong. He's just not smart at all. And so part of it is kind of like the car wreck again. Can't take your eyes off it. And that will be next Sunday for me. Can't help myself.
We got another former Eagles quarterback.
Who's that?
Matt Barkley. Active roster for the Giants now.
He's still around?
Yeah. Tommy DeVito's backup. You want to see some good football?
All right.
Football Giants.
Yeah, that's I would probably go Barkley over Tommy DeVito. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched Tommy DeVito.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. If your options are Tommy DeVito or Matt Barkley,
you're in trouble.
You're having more than just a debate over who the starting quarterback should be this weekend.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Sixers front, I asked this question to start the show. They have a monster game tonight. It's Sixers Celtics. They're both 5-1. And my first question is, do you even care? Because I know a lot of you are checked out. We had the tweet from Maurice, and then he ended up calling into the show. He said he's just watching highlights this year. From start to finish, he's just watching highlights. He's not watching the games anymore. And I don't blame anyone for beat up like that. But all I'm trying to say is, look, this is a good team. They were a contender the second they lost to the Celtics, still this year, right? They're still a contender. And I know that Daryl Morey will probably make another move. I'll be disappointed if he doesn't. But I have a feeling that he's going to make another move, and it was a great trade, getting rid of James Harden, getting all those assets, getting all those draft picks in order to trade them later. I keep on saying trade picks, but there's a reason why, because you're not going to hold all of them. You're not going to use those picks. You're going to trade them away. And I hope he makes another trade and gets another star player to go alongside Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and this roster that you have that is filled with depth and athletes that you haven't had. Daryl was on this the other day. He brought up Martin, a guy with athleticism that they're excited to use. That's something the Sixers don't have. They didn't have athleticism. They haven't had a guy like Kelly Oubre Jr., right? Now they do. They have a backup point guard in Patrick Beverley. The one glaring weakness is probably one more star-studded player. And that's what's going to happen once you make that trade. But Mike in Knightstown wants to talk about Joel Embiid. What's up, Mike?
Man, y'all need to stop drinking this Kool-Aid. You know who y'all sound like?
Who?
Y'all sound like Cowboys fans talking about Dak, thinking Embiid is the answer. He's not. He's the Sixers version of Dak. That's the problem. You need to get rid of this guy.
You need for what? Nothing.
For what?
Bag of balls.
I take him for Jaylen Brown. Why wouldn't the Celtics do that?
They just signed Jaylen Brown to a monster deal. They're not moving Jaylen Brown.
You wouldn't move Jaylen Brown for the MVP, for your MVP?
You quite literally said Embiid's not the answer. He's Dak Prescott. So well, if you feel that way, don't you think Boston feels that way? You're saying that this guy is not the answer. He basically stinks. So I'm going to trade for one of the better players in the NBA from Boston, who they just signed to the most expensive contract in the history of the NBA.
So you're not making sense. If he's the MVP, then you should be able to get anything for him, right?
Yeah, you should be. But you yourself saying you don't like him, so you're going to trade him for another good player.
Yeah, I would trade him for Jaylen Brown in a heartbeat. He's not the guy. Y'all keep thinking it's the guy. He's
but
the guy.
Boston, I'm telling you right now, Boston is not going to do it. They just signed him to the biggest contract in the history of the NBA. They're not trading Jaylen Brown today.
That doesn't make sense. Then Embiid isn't what
they just signed him to the biggest contract in the history of the NBA. That means they value him a lot. So why would they trade him months after signing him to that contract?
To get the MVP, right? So you're saying
Yes.
Jaylen Brown is better than the MVP?
I'm not saying that. I love Joel Embiid's game. Joel Embiid has a different game than Jaylen Brown. He's a different game than a lot of players. All I'm telling you is you're talking backwards. Boston will not trade him because they just signed him to the most expensive contract in the history of the NBA, which means they value him for the team that they have.
That makes no sense. Embiid's game
I'm sorry. I don't like hanging up on people. We weren't going to get anywhere there. I'm sorry, Mike. We weren't going to get anywhere. The Cleveland Cavaliers will trade Donovan Mitchell for Joel Embiid. There's probably 98% of players that you would trade for Joel Embiid. They just signed Jaylen. I don't understand what you're not getting. They just signed Jaylen Brown to the biggest contract in the history of the NBA. What, a couple months ago? They just did this. So he keeps on saying I'm not making any sense. Just think about that for a second. Like if you bought a really nice house, spent all your hard-earned money, you're going to move 3 months later? No. I think Joel Embiid is a good basketball player. If you trade Joel Embiid, you're not even getting Jaylen Brown. It tells you he's not the answer. That's just I guess you watch the NBA. You know that that's not how it works. That's not how this works. James Harden, top 75 player, whatever you think about him or not, got you Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, and picks, and Marcus Smart. It's trades are usually one-sided. I'm just saying, man. One day he's not going to be here. We're going to regret that day. It will be. Hold on. Frank in Philly wants to help me out. What's up, Frank?
Andrew, calm down.
I'm sorry. It's just I don't understand what he's not hearing.
Said Jaylen Brown is better than Joel, and Joel's top 3 in the NBA.
Yeah,
probably the best player in the NBA behind Jokic. What is he talking about?
He may want Jaylen Brown.
That is nonsense.
He may want Jaylen Brown. That's fine. I wanted Jaylen Brown. I thought he was going to be a free agent. I thought there was some turmoil in Boston between him and Jason Tatum. And so Jaylen Brown would have been signed here to play with Joel Embiid.
What has Jaylen Brown won with the Boston Celtics roster that he has?
Oh, they've gone out of the second round. That would be his answer.
Oh, and they lost to the Miami Heat just like we did. Wow. That guy's a troll. Andrew, calm down. And I'm cheering for Carson, too, this week.
I'm not cheering for him.
I am.
All right, why are you cheering for him? I'm curious.
Because I felt like he was handed the bad, like he got treated wrong, man. It's everyone in life. If you get treated that way, it's just going to hurt you between the ears. And that's
all right. How was he treated wrong?
All right, listen. When we got Hurts, we went and got Smith, AJ. We didn't get this guy no help.
All right. So I'm going to dive into this more. I promise, Frank, because I got Keith Pompei coming up in a few minutes. But I appreciate the call. Thanks for calming me down. Because the Jaylen Brown caller, I'm still sitting here confused. Carson Wentz was also his own worst enemy. This was not a one-sided thing, right? I have talked about this a million times. On the record. The Eagles screwed up the situation with Carson Wentz. They did. Carson Wentz, though, since then, maybe we learned a little bit more. It was a mess in Indianapolis, a mess in D.C., to the point where they were begging for people to take them off his hands. And then he wasn't on a team until now with the Rams. So Carson Wentz does not leave this conversation as if he did nothing wrong and it was fully, on the Eagles. But the wide receiver thing, I get it. We'll talk about that more coming up in a little bit, but it's 12:30. Been excited all day to talk to this man. First time all season I'm getting a chance to talk to him. I know we're only 6 games in, but it's always a pleasure on the Comcast Business Hotline from the Inquirer, Inquirer.com, the great Keith Pompei. Keith, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? It's 6 games too late, though.
It is 6 games too late. I understand. Look, we had a Phillies playoff run. Eagles, they were a quiet, undefeated team. So I apologize, but I got to tell you, man, it's a pleasure to have you on. And, Keith, it's been a pretty fun start to the season.
Yeah, it really has. You know what? There's a different vibe around here, around this team. Like in the past, it was kind of like, you did have the James Harden situation, but at the same time, it's one of these things where you look at these guys, and before you were thinking like, okay, they're good, but now you're looking and you're saying to yourself, man, if Maxey could keep improving, I like the role, the roles that the bench players are playing. Joel's on top of his game. Tobias has taken a step forward. It's just a completely different, vibe with this team right now, and it's exciting to cover them.
What have you seen out of Tyrese Maxey so far? I had Daryl Morey on the other day, and he was talking about how impressed he's been with not only just taking the reins, being the point guard, but also his defense has improved in Daryl's eyes. Some of the stuff you've seen out of Maxey, because let's face it, Embiid's got the keys, right? But Maxey was given the front seat.
Yeah, you know what? The thing about Maxey, the thing that I like for the most part is how, and he's done it every year. Like one time, what we say, he can't shoot the three. And he worked on that, and you see how good he is now as a three-point shooter. And then initially, he was a two-guard trapped in a point guard's body, right? Now you look at him, and he's still not a pure point guard, right? He's not like a Chris Paul or anyone like that. But at the same time, just how good he's playing at that position, right? He brings his own flavor to it. He gets out, he goes. But the turnovers, like the last game he had 0 turnovers. Another game, 2 games he had 0 turnovers. I feel like the thing that's really impressed me was just how he progresses, and it's because of the work that he puts in the off season. You know what I mean? Like you say, you can't do this, Tyrese. Okay, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you.
Right.
I'm gonna show you exactly what I can do. So those are the things that really impress me the most about Tyrese.
How do you think Joel Embiid's doing through all this? That's been kind of the biggest question is Joel Embiid happy? There's been all these reports about the Knicks that have been floated out there. I know rumors are rumors, but, Christmas Day, the James Harden rumors started, and he's not here anymore. So how do you think Embiid's doing through the first 6 games? No Harden, still some question marks about the future of this current roster, and, of course, also playing under a new head coach, Nick Nurse.
I think Joel's doing well, but I also think that, a lot of people, we get caught up in the moment, so to speak, you know what I mean? And everything like, oh my gosh, Joel wants to go. Oh, Joel wants to stay. I think that the big thing is going to happen, like based off of, let's see how far this team goes in the playoffs, right? Let's see if this team can like go out there and bring in an A-list player, right? And if that's going to take them over the hump. Let's see what this team is going to be able to do in free agency, right? So I feel like, I feel like that's when we'll get our definite answer. But if you're Joel Embiid, you really have to like what's going on because, everyone knows who the guy is. No one is trying to challenge Joel to be the guy. Like, last year with Harden, he had a couple 40-point games. He didn't like his role in the offense. Before that, you had Ben Simmons, who basically, was a power struggle. If you're Joel Embiid and you look at the guys that they have on this team right now,
they all know that Joel's the guy. They want Joel to be the guy. Other guys want to contribute in other ways that's going to help the team. So, yes, if you're Joel Embiid, you have to be extremely excited and happy. But at the same time, Joel Embiid wants to win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, not to say that his mood is going to change or the way he feels is going to change, but we won't really know the answer until we find out what Daryl Morey continues to do with this roster.
Now, what do you think it is that Daryl Morey does next? Because I think this team, Keith, and look, you've been covering this team for a long time, but you also have known since the process really ended, this is probably the deepest team in terms of bench. It's the first time you really have a wing scorer that can, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, and Kelly Oubre. This is a good team, but I do still think they're missing that one more star-studded player. Is that something that we won't see until the offseason? You mentioned the cap space. Or does he pull the trigger and make a trade with the assets he acquired after trading James Harden?
If I'm Daryl Morey, the first thing I'm doing is I'm being extremely patient right now, and I want to see how this thing plays out. And what I mean by that is, right now I want to look at it and see what Maxey continue to do, right? I want to see what Tobias can do. But most importantly, I want to look at these new guys and see how they contribute, right? And then, because that doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be the ones who are going, right?
Right.
Because if they can contribute, and then, like, you evaluate everything, and then next thing you know, then you factor in, like, okay, well, this team is missing this one piece, and let me see if I can go to that to make this team better, possibly before the trade deadline. But right now, like you said, everything is going well. Like, Maxey is one of the best guards in the league right now. Tobias Harris is shooting at a high percentage. We saw what Nick Batum could do. You saw what Robert Covington can do. You know what I mean? So I kind of like all those pieces that I see right now.
Yeah.
So to me, it's kind of like, don't make a quick decision. Try to study what you have. Stay in constant communication with Nick Nurse, which he is. And then basically see what we can do to make the team better. Just don't make a move to make a move.
Right.
Because the one thing you said is that this team is deeper than they've been before. Like, so that's a bonus, and that's something that I think can help them long term.
Now, if a trade were to happen, the four names that have been floated out there so far, the two most consistent ones have been Zach LaVine and OG Anunoby. But then the other two names I saw were Bojan Bogdanovic, and then Donovan Mitchell popped up out of nowhere. Who do you think would be the best fit? Because like you said, Maxey is still learning to be that true point guard. Maybe he benefits having another guard with him, or maybe they have a nice, obviously OG would be a great 3 for this team, moves Kelly Oubre back to the bench, or maybe D'Anthony Melton back to the bench. Who's the guy out of those four that you think fits best with this current roster?
That's a tough one. I don't like Donovan Mitchell.
Okay.
Here. I think that, right now when you look at this team, this is Joel Embiid's team, right? You know what I mean? And Donovan Mitchell is so used to being the guy to where, like, I think it would be a little, I don't like that at all. But to me, again, a lot of it depends on if Tyrese Maxey can take that next step. Right. And if you feel like he can, then, you got to think long and hard about Zach LaVine, but if you think that he can, I think that like Bogdanovic or OG might have to be the guys. And the reason being is, what I'm thinking about it is, let's think about long term, right? So if you think long term and you think that Maxey is going to be that guy, and let's just say if you like what you see from Tobias Harris, you can get these other two guys for, I think, a little bit cheaper than what, with Donovan Mitchell and Zach are making, right? You could probably get different. But when you look at Bogdanovic, he would probably be immediate help without disrupting the flow that the Sixers had. You know what I'm saying? Like, like OG is kind of like a role player, this and that, but you can never go wrong with a perimeter player. But Bogdanovic, I just always like how, a guy who can shoot, who that creates more spacing, then guys are going to be cutting, they're going to be doing all types of things. I just think that if you get Zach, and again, I think Zach will be a great fit. I really do. But if you honestly think that Tyrese Maxey is going to be that guy, right, and take that next level, then you might as well just get somebody in here who can fit in as opposed to taking some touches away from him.
Now, Keith, last thing before I let you go, we got Sixers Celtics tonight. Big game, 2 5-1 teams. It is just game 6 or game 7 on the season, excuse me. So it's not that big, but if you're Nick Nurse or if you're Daryl Morey, I mean, Morey said it himself. He's going to really value or evaluate the Sixers playing against some of the top tiers in the teams in the NBA. How important is a matchup like tonight for the Sixers and their team psyche, because they just knocked you out of the playoffs last year, but also it shows you what you might really need down the road?
I think it's bigger for that, showing you what you need down the road. Now, again, for the psyche, it's going to be good. But the one thing is we got to realize is that, they just got guys who are in the rotation that they're going to depend on tonight last week, right? And so you feel like this isn't the most ideal time to play the Celtics for them. But at the same time, you look at it and you use this game as a barometer to say, okay, this is what we need to work on. This is what we have. This is where we are, fellas. This is where we are, and this is where we need to be. So I like it for that one. Now, again, if they do beat the Celtics, right, it will also be great, like you said, for the psyche. From the standpoint, they could say, you know what? We are one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. We just knocked off the Celtics, right? And we're only going to get better. So I feel like from a team psyche, that is a good thing. But knowing a coach like Nick Nurse, he's looking at it more as like, okay, so this is what we did, and this is what we have to do moving forward, to be able to contend for a championship when the playoffs come.
I promise you, last one. Nick Nurse, your thoughts on him so far?
Oh, man, I think he's a great coach. And a lot of people don't know this. It was a couple years ago. It was when the Sixers were playing the Toronto Raptors, and it might have been the Kawhi shot thing. And we were walking down the hallway, and I said, look, man, you don't know me from a can of paint. Keith Pompei, I covered the team, but I think you're a heck of a coach. But I didn't say heck of a coach. And I said, I really enjoy watching you coach. And it's true. I've been a fan of his coaching for a while. I mean, he can coach, man. And then not only that, it's the fact that he gets players like Joel to buy in. He's getting the most out of Tobias. He's bringing a grittiness to the team. And the one thing I like about him is, like, when you ask him a question, like yesterday I asked him a question about, do you think the hype for this game is a little bit too much, being as though it's only the 6th game of the season? And he was like, nah. You got 2 5-1 teams. We want to see what we won or what we're going to do, and this and that. Like, he's not afraid to answer the question. And I think if you have a player in your coach, and again, he's not out there giving bulletin board material or talking dirty to people, but he has that confidence to where it's like, nah, this game isn't too big. We want to see what we have. And if you're a player playing for a coach like that, yes, you want to follow him. As opposed to, some people shying away from saying how they really feel. So I really like Nick Nurse. I think that he's doing a heck of a job. I feel like that, he is the reason why Kelly Oubre is playing well. He's the reason why Tobias Harris is playing well. And he's the reason why Maxey looks way more comfortable. So, he's doing a heck of a job. I like his coaching.
Well, you're doing a heck of a job too, Keith, for the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. I appreciate the time as always, man, and we'll be checking in much more as the season goes on. Thanks as always.
All right, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course. There he is, Keith Pompei, the Inquirer, Inquirer.com. Always offers his time. I really appreciate it. Some good things there about Nick Nurse. We'll discuss more about what we just talked about with Keith Pompei and the Sixers. Also, the Eagles stuff that we have on the table. I'll reset it all with you. And, of course, I can't not mention a basketball player that doesn't play for the Sixers that continues to be delusional. And this time it isn't James Harden. I'll tell you who next, right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports update.
A battle with Boston tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Wendy's. The Wendy's Biggie Bag comes with your choice of JBC or crispy chicken sandwich plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. U.S. price participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher. 76ers host the Celtics tonight. Sixers have won 5 in a row. End of the game 5-1 tie with Celtics for the best record in the Eastern Conference. First matchup of the two teams since the Sixers collapsed in the second round last year against the Celtics. Embiid enters the game coming off a 48-point performance in 3 quarters versus the Wizards. You catch the game live at 7 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. You just heard Keith Pompei. You catch that conversation one more time on 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers fell to Sharks 2-1 last night. San Jose entered the game winless on the season. Flyers have now lost 5 of their last 6. Back in action on Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks. The Eagles enjoying the bye coming off the big 28-23 win over the Cowboys. They have the best record right now in the National Football League. That, of course, being the Birds. Union postseason series with New England Revolution continues tonight. They hold a 1-game-to-none advantage in the best of 3. Catch the live call on WWDB and streaming at 97.5thefanatic.com. Keep it locked here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Down the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Phillies Sports Tonight. Discussion on the big stories we've been talking about all day. Coming up tonight at 6 on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-205-3400. 800-205-3400. 800-205-3400.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509. 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
All right, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs by up to 30%. This month only, check out this offer. Window Nation's offering 0% interest for 5 years. Are you kidding me? Nobody's doing this in business. That's 60 months interest-free. And get 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy. So you're protecting your family from the elements, you're lowering your energy costs, you're upgrading the look of your home, and you're feeling just so good about the deal you got from Window Nation. 5 years interest-free? That's nuts. Call 2 free windows for every 2 that you buy, but in November, that's 0% interest for 5 years. Call the company over 200,000 families have trusted with their home. Window Nation. Call 866-90Nation. Go to windownation.com. Tell them Kincaid sent you.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Macy's holiday deals are going on now. Don't miss great savings on everything you need, from hosting essentials to gifts they'll love. Like 40% off designer handbags, perfect for any outfit. 50 to 60% off designer suit updates for him. And get 60% off warm winter bedding for you and your guests. Plus, download the app for even more great holiday deals at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The weather this time of year is more unpredictable than my fantasy football team.
Wait 5 minutes and it'll change.
The weather or my team?
The weather. Your team stinks. I can't believe who you drafted in the first round.
A new system from Pierce Phelps will keep you comfortable no matter what the weather does. And right now, qualified buyers can enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on a new home comfort system. Visit nopaybryant.com to find a Delaware Valley dealer near you.
Bryant.
Whatever it takes.
Morgan & Morgan is not only America's largest injury law firm, we're also the only injury law firm in the world with lawyers licensed in all 50 states. With dedicated attorneys focused on personal injury, medical malpractice, insurance disputes, car crashes, employee rights, and many others, we have a 30-year track record of getting results for clients just like you. So wherever you are, whatever you need, our firm is ready to take your call. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from BQ Basements and Concrete. We put water back in its place. Go to basementsbybq.com. License number PA158514, 13VH11822-900.
WPEN Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station. Official home of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic.
12:51, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Midday show. We got the best show ever coming your way at 2 o'clock. Make sure you check that out. By the way, can't forget to mention, tonight, 7 o'clock, Union look to move on as they are up 1-0 in their series with New England. Or no, sorry. Is today game 1?
No, they're up 1-0.
They're up 1-0. Okay, see, look, I've been honest. I support the Union. Not locked in. Just who I am. I'd rather people be honest about that. But I see they're up 1-0. They beat New England 3-1 on October 28th. I didn't know if that was too long ago.
Yes, it was a long layoff.
Yeah, forever.
Long layoff.
Jesus. Anyways, they're up 1-0. And they look to move on today, 7 o'clock. You can listen live on 97.5thefanatic.com.
97.5 HD2 as well.
Oh, how about that? HD2 as well. Because obviously tonight, Sixers, Celtics will be on the station. You'll hear Tom McGinnis with the Sixers. But yeah, the Union up 1-0. They hope to move on. Now, as the bigger Union guy here, and I saw Matt Menard, who we're going to get to in a second. Jeez Louise, walking around with his Union hoodie. If they were to move on, do we know who they're playing next?
I believe it would be Cincinnati, because Cincinnati's top seed, but I don't know if they've locked that one up.
Okay.
I don't know if they've finished up their 2 and 3.
And, I know there's somebody out there that's like, oh, my God. Like, look, I'm real. I'll flip it on tonight. I'll go Sixers, Celtics, big screen, and Union on the laptop. Because they're my squad. But I know how a lot of soccer fans, and I'm
Cincinnati did move on, so it is Cincinnati.
There are a lot of soccer fans, and I like to be as real as possible, who are very protective of their sport. And there's a lot of Union fans that are like, oh, you're not locked in? Then don't watch us tonight. Why? I think you would rather me watch, because I know there's a lot of Phillies fans that don't watch until the wild card round. I know there's Sixers fans that don't watch until the playoffs. Or maybe they didn't watch the first 6 games of the season, but they're watching Sixers Celtics tonight. It happens in every sport. But go Union. I hope they move on. I know Jim Curtin was on with the morning show. And I love Jim Curtin, local guy. That's great. So, go Union. Representing tonight, 7 o'clock. Now, Matt Menard. We have a couple of random things to get to this segment, including an NBA player that just needs to learn how to shut the hell up. And then I'll get to Shaq's call in a second. So, Matt Menard. I love Matt. Great dude.
Wonderful dude.
You think my takes of food are ridiculous. He is walking around out there trying to push the narrative that the cantaloupe is the best fruit, the number 1 seed. The cantaloupe. Here's how I know that it sucks other than just my taste buds. You get a fruit salad, the cantaloupe and the honeydew, which honeydew also toward the bottom for me, are the most pieces of fruit in the fruit salad. You know why? Because nobody's buying a damn cantaloupe. They go, man, can't let this thing go to waste. When you get a fruit salad, there's like 2 grapes in there, 2 pieces of pineapple. I eat the cantaloupe and honeydew first to just get it out of the way. I would like to just throw it out, but I'm not made of money. I paid for that fruit salad, damn it. I want that slice of strawberry and grape and pineapple. They put so much cantaloupe and honeydew in there because they realize nobody's going to actually buy a full cantaloupe or honeydew. Number 1? That's horrible.
Yeah, the cantaloupe's down there in the play-in with the plum. Honeydew doesn't even make a tournament for me. I'll give you guys at least a play.
Like, dude, oh man, if you put some salt on the honeydew, what?
No thanks.
I don't have to put squat on anything. Like, if I eat the plum straight, you know why? Because it's delicious. Now, look, apple and peanut butter, banana and peanut butter, great combos. But I can eat the apple and banana solo, and it's still delicious. People are telling me you got to put salt on a honeydew or sugar on a honeydew. Well, then it's not really that good if you have to doctor it.
System fruit.
Yeah, it's a system fruit. You're right. But you go with cantaloupe number 1. That's horrible.
Horrid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love Matt, but you can't go cantaloupes. Cantaloupe and honeydew are the worst of the fruits. Manningcast. Numbers are plummeting.
Really?
Per Pro Football Talk.
Ooh.
They're dropping below 1 million viewers. That's worldwide. They're dropping below 1 million viewers. I'll be honest. I don't get it. I like the clips. I would never watch the Manningcast to watch a football game. And, I remember when I first said that, I was the unpopular guy. Because we like the new thing, right? I think they know their stuff. And they have great guests. But I'd rather just watch the game. But it is kind of shocking that it's below 1 million.
Yeah, I don't mind it. It being below 1 million, I think you might hear the faint applause of play-by-play broadcasters around the country.
Right, because you care about us.
You can't replace putting something out there on the air. I don't mind it. I enjoy watching it every once in a while, and I'll actually watch the game with it. It's not just clips. But it does depend a little bit on guests. I think Peyton could be a solid 2 in a booth if given the opportunity.
Maybe.
I think he obviously is the one kind of leading the charge there. Eli is good for some laughs every once in a while. But to me, I see the appeal with it. I'll watch it, but it's not an every week. It's not an appointment for me, and that's the problem. They kind of need an appointment audience that was I want to watch the Manning's version of whatever game it is, and not, oh, look, they've got this guest tonight. I might flip over. And I'll give them a little bit of a pass.
I think they're both funny. I think Eli's entertaining too. I would just rather watch it. I don't get the casts, right? The national title game in college football. It's amazing. They have all the top coaches,
right?
Because they have the coaching cast. Mm-hmm. These are the brightest minds that just aren't on the field right now. Right? There's 2 minds that are brighter than them because they're in the national title game. I would rather watch the game. and hear play-by-play and the analysis of a play and not chit-chat.
Yeah,
That's what a lot of this is.
Yeah, they're trying. They're feeling also, time on the air. The argument is on Monday Night Football, you're going to get more people watching Peyton and Eli.
That's a good
break
point,
it down, or you're going to try and fill your programming with something else.
But think of how much they're being paid. Are they getting?
Well, yeah, that's part of it.
That they want.
Well, quite clearly they're not, because someone leaked that they're getting less than $1 million. Like, they're not getting the return on it. The only reason that report gets out there is if somebody in the company doesn't feel like they're getting what it is. And again, not to defend them, but they're going against Buck and Aikman. Like this, they figured out the Monday Night Booth, and the way they figured out the Monday Night Booth was, let's just pay the guys who are the best at this.
Right. No, I understand that.
So, I mean, it was a nice idea. I wouldn't be surprised if we're trending towards the end of it, if the reports are being leaked out there of the viewership, because that would mean someone's not happy with the return they're getting on it, and that some maybe shakeup comes to it. Again, I wouldn't mind Peyton as a 2 in a booth. Eli would probably be good in an ensemble cast of a pregame or a postgame.
Yeah.
Where, he can kind of be used for laughs. They're not the worst thing.
No,
certainly
they're not.
In football,
I'm not rooting for them to fail. It's just, it's not my cup of tea, and it's clearly starting to drop. Week 5, which, look, in their defense, it was Raiders-Packers in that game. But out of the 100% of viewers, doesn't matter how many viewers it is, out of the 100% of the viewers for Monday Night Football, they only got 5% of the viewers. So that's pretty lopsided.
Yeah, I'd love to know what the guests were. But, yeah, the games, and this has been a Thursday Night Football problem more over than a Monday night, but the matchups, They planned a lot of jets, and they planned for some teams to take leaps that just did not happen. And it happens every year with games. Like, I know it's our favorite thing. How is this game on prime time?
Right,
it's
right.
Well, when the NFL was trying to put this one together.
Yeah, it's like the Bears. Like, they're hoping that the Bears and Justin Fields takes this leap. And then he gets hurt or he doesn't. Right, exactly. Apparently, there's a lot of cantaloupe love, which is just astonishing to me.
The one person I know that loves cantaloupe is my dad. My dad's a big cantaloupe man. Otherwise, I've not met a single other person that's big on cantaloupe.
Yeah. All right. 2 more things. You know what? Let me get to Shaq first, because I don't want to make him wait for all this meandering that I'm doing, but it's all relevant. And there's a big baseball rumor out there. Big baseball rumor out there. Let's go to Shaq on the cell. What's up, Shaq?
What's up, Tunis? How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. 2 things that suck: Cantaloupe and Manningcast. Both of them suck. So wanted to touch on this Carson Wentz thing and a little bit Sixers if I can get to it.
Yeah, feel free.
As Eagles fans, I think it's only right to want to see Carson Wentz succeed. He's going back to the team where, the whole trajectory of his career changed. And he still threw a touchdown pass that last play. So I'd like to see, we put a lot of money and time and love into this guy. And it'd be nice to see him succeed there. Maybe he goes out there and he throws 3 4 touchdowns.
But here's the thing. I don't look, when the 10-year reunion happens, 2027, right? If Carson Wentz is on that field, I'm giving him a standing ovation.
100%.
But today, November 8th, 2023, I'm not rooting for the guy.
I just think that year in 2017, you couldn't tell me anything. I thought we had our franchise quarterback.
Same.
I thought we were ready
and
to go.
you didn't, and it blew up, and it almost turned your franchise into turmoil. If not for Howie Roseman flipping some things around.
Yeah, Howie's season, came through, and it was great. I just think that as an Eagles fan, all the time and love you invest into these players. And I'm not saying we got to get attached to these players or anything like that, but you're not going to root for Geno Smith on Sunday, are you? You're not. You're gonna want to see the guy who was on your team, who helped honestly take you to that Super Bowl. I know he lost it. I know he was done. He got hurt, but he got us to where we needed to get that year, and he was about to be MVP that year. I don't want to. I don't have all the love in the world. I know he blew up, but I was one of those guys that was picking him over Jalen Hurts, and I was
same. Like I was too, but I've seen what's happened. I mean, since leaving the Eagles, like with all those rumors about how he was a bad teammate, well, look what happened in Indianapolis and in D.C. The guy seems to be a bit of a flea.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Maybe I don't know. I believe in second chances. So give him a second chance as the Eagles because what he did for the Eagles, even though it was not.
They don't win the Super Bowl. They don't win the Super Bowl without him.
100%. I'd like to see him do good. Make it full circle. He had some time off. He didn't. He hasn't played in a little bit. He comes back. Maybe he gets some love back. Maybe him and Puka Nacua have this connection that is great. I wish him the best. But anyway, I don't want to miss my Sixers point real quick.
Yeah, what do you got?
Question for you. Kelly Oubre, you think he has the potential to be this maybe 2A, 3 guy for the Sixers?
No, I still want him coming off the bench and being a scoring punch, but he is something that you have not had in our. How old are you, Shaq?
28.
We haven't had that in our lifetime.
Absolutely not.
So I like Kelly Oubre a lot, and I appreciate the call, man. He's bounced around. He's on his 15, 16 in his NBA career. Like, he's not a 2A, 3, but he's a good piece to have on a team that's contending for a championship as long as he's scoring consistently, which except for last game, like he has been scoring consistently. And so I like Kelly Oubre a lot. He's a guy that I've been wanting. And so he's here. That's awesome. But I can't, I'm not going to go as far as he's like a 2 or 3 in a big 3.
No, I've been pleasantly surprised. I wasn't as big on the signing as a lot of people were, and I'm eating my words early on, so I'm enjoying that. One thing on Wentz.
Yes.
Get back there. I don't think it's actively rooting against the guy, but I think there's a difference between not rooting for him and rooting against him. Like, I'll sit there and watch, but it's not like let me see if I can find the Wentz jersey in the closet here, and let's have a Sunday afternoon when we root Wentz back to prominence.
It's whatever happens with that guy.
Yeah.
I root against Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I want him to fail. I want him to stop playing basketball again and claim that it's something else. Because I think he lied about things, but, I don't really know, so I can't go that far. But I don't like that guy at all, Ben Simmons.
I am who I am. It is what it is.
That dude is just, I don't like him. I'll just leave it at that. So I actively root against Ben Simmons. Carson Wentz, it's kind of like, all right, whatever. So we had to call our last segment, Frank. And I didn't really get to this. And then I'll get to all this other stuff because there is a big baseball rumor that I want to get to. But because he brought up Wentz. So, because tape is out there, so I can't lie. I liked Carson Wentz a ton. And I do think drafting Jalen Hurts may have been that final straw for him in terms of his mentality, Wentz's. And I hated the signing of Jalen Hurts, and it had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts, the dude. Had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts, the quarterback. Even though when I saw him play as a first year of a starter, I didn't think he'd be a franchise quarterback like we're seeing now. But that's not the part of the argument or conversation. When it comes to Wentz, he was throwing to nobody. That year, they go 9-7. They were 5-7, turn things around, get into the playoffs. Guy throws for 4,000 yards. His leading receiver was Zach Ertz. He did not have a wide receiver with over 500 yards receiving. Greg Ward was his leading receiver. Greg Ward, former quarterback. Like, think about that. His leading receiver is a former quarterback. And Deontay Burnett was out there. Alshon was hurt. Aguilar was back to the Aguilar that we remember. And so, I go, all right, this guy clearly has some talent. And the offensive line his final year, we talk about the secondary, how we've only seen the same 5 guys in the secondary twice this year. We saw 9 different offensive line pairings when Wentz was his final year as a starter. And so I do think there is still some sort of talent in there as long as he can get up here right. And I don't know, can you hear the pen literally hitting my head through the headphones?
I can.
Okay. It's all up there. Now, I've never played in a Super Bowl, or I've never been on a team that was on a Super Bowl and my backup won it, so I can't really speak to that. But that's on him for not being able to get over that yet. That's on him for not being able to get over the Eagles drafting Jalen Hurts because they wanted a cheaper backup and not having to pay Josh McCown too much money because of cap space. They had all these guys coming up on the books. Now, Frank, who called in earlier, is like, well, they gave Jalen Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They tried Jalen Reagor. It was just a terrible draft pick. They did bring him Alshon Jeffrey. I know Alshon's not A.J. Brown, but at the time, he was the top wide receiver on the market. So there's like the good things that happened, what the Eagles tried to do, but then also the bad. And I do think the front office messed up a lot of Carson Wentz. But since he's been gone, I can't completely still believe that. This is 14 in 4 years, man. But I'm not actively rooting against him because you don't win the Super Bowl without him. He goes 11-2. Basically gets you home field advantage. You need Nick Foles to win one more game. You know, the caller just brought up he's throwing a touchdown pass, on a torn ACL. Like that, I give that guy credit. 2027, when they honor the 10-year anniversary of the team that wins the Super Bowl, if he walks out on that field and I'm at the link, I'm giving a standing ovation. Right now, what do I care? If he goes? Yeah, I don't know if he does. I don't know what his feelings are toward the front office. I don't know what the front office feelings are toward him. They're going to extend the invitation. Look at the Phillies and Scott Rowland. Brought him out there. So, yeah, that's the big if he goes. But, I'm not rooting against him, but I'm not like Shaq who's going, man, I can't wait to watch him play. Like, no.
Second chance, too. I don't know if I would number this as chance number 2 for him.
Right.
Like, listen, the Colts haven't exactly been an organization that you would say is model in the way they go about things. But them running him out the door and it being very public that they were kind of ready.
Yeah, Irsay was pretty open and honest that he didn't want him there anymore.
Pretty ready to move him along. Says something.
Yeah, and they were lucky to get a third-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders thought they were negotiating with other people. Did you see that story that was a couple years ago? They thought they were negotiating with other people, so they gave him a third-round pick. They could have gotten him for probably a 7th. And then the Commanders just upright released him. Like, we don't want this guy. And so now he's with the Rams. And I will watch next week because they're on a bye this week. I will watch next week if he's the starter against the Seahawks. I will be locked in every snap. But I'm not rooting for the guy. It's going to be another game for me with higher interest level, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you're not rooting against him. You're just observing.
Yes, I will be observing.
Yeah, there's just more of an interest there. I don't know why we have to have the duality. Oh, you have to be rooting for him or you have to be rooting against him.
No.
At this point, I just kind of have the
whatever.
He's out there.
Whatever happens.
It's a story of intrigue for me.
Yeah.
I will want to know what happens with him. I will want to see what happens with him. Like, I don't have really something either way. Like the
Simmons thing, right? Simmons held you back from winning something.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz didn't hold you back, or he led you to a good position, which is why in 4 more years I'll celebrate it. Right now, no.
Yeah, and also they were able to, get a decent haul for him. They were able to move their ways. Like maybe if things didn't turn out the way they have for the Eagles.
Oh, dude, if they're in shambles right now, which I thought they were.
Right.
If Jalen Hurts has not become the guy that he is now, this franchise is in trouble.
Right, and there's a different conversation with him.
So Jalen Hurts,
we can let the past be the past.
Jalen Hurts is a freaking superhero, if you think about it.
Yes.
He kind of borderline saved the franchise of this decade.
Yeah, it's the best bet they made.
Best bet. All right, coming up next. Big baseball rumor out there. Monster baseball rumor out there that I will give you coming up next. The NBA player that needs to shut his mouth, and I hope, oh, God, I'm begging for him to eat his words tonight. Begging. Do you have any idea who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, begging for him to eat his words tonight. And also, a conversation about athletes wearing jerseys of a team that's in a different city than the team you're playing for. I know a lot of you are celebrating what happened the other day, but a lot of you are also hypocrites. I'll explain what coming up next. 610-632-0975. Manager Sal Tunis, this is 97.5 The Fanatic. As the weather gets colder, today, kind of chilly. The NFL offers, they stay hot. And on FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. Now, you might be sitting there going, wait, so I have to actually win? Usually these things are win or lose. Look, it's any money line bet. You put $5 down on the biggest favorite of the week. And this week, it's the Dallas Cowboys. I know that sounds gross, but you're putting money in your pocket. They're going to win anyway. against the Giants. They're minus 1,500. $5 would score you 31 cents on a normal day. In this case, it's $150 if your team wins. You've been thinking about joining FanDuel? There's no better time to get on all the action. The app's super easy to use. A wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and a whole lot more. So visit FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. You got to be 21 plus. President PA first online, real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as knowledgeable bonus bets. That expires 7 days at the receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Sixers Celtics tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. You may always need a new water heater, but when you do, choose Bradford White. 76ers host the Celtics tonight. Sixers have won 5 in a row. Enter the game 5-1, tied with the Celtics for the best record in the Eastern Conference. First matchup of the two teams since the postseason collapse last year by the 76ers in games 6 and 7 against the Celtics. Joel Embiid enters the game coming off a 48-point performance in 3 quarters versus the Wizards. Catch the game live at 7 o'clock right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keith Pompei joined the show earlier to talk all things Sixers and get you set for the matchup. You catch that conversation one more time at 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers fell the Sharks 2-1 last night. San Jose entered the game winless on the season. Flyers have now won 5 of their last 6. Back in action on Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks. The Eagles enjoying the bye, coming off the big 28-23 win over the Cowboys. The Eagles have the best record in the NFL right now. Union postseason series with the New England Revolution continues tonight. They hold a 1-0 advantage in the best of 3. You catch the live call on WWDP 97.5 The Fanatic HD2 and streaming at 97.5thefanatic.com. This update is also brought to you by UPSjobs.com. Ready to shift your future? Make great pay as a seasonal warehouse worker, package delivery driver, or tractor trailer driver for UPS. Apply at UPSjobs.com/shift. Keep it locked here for the latest news and information. I'm Ray Dunn, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Win a free trip or 2 to spring training 2024. The Titans will be back, and it all starts in Clearwater. Listen weekdays at 8 a.m., noon, and 4 p.m. for your chance to win a $25 Rally House gift card and qualify for a 3-day getaway to spring training in March, courtesy of Philly Sports Trips. The trip includes airfare, a stay at the beautiful AC Hotel in Clearwater Beach, a VIP party, and game tickets. For complete details and another chance to win, go to 97.5thefanatic.com. Win a trip to spring training 2024. Weekdays at 8, noon, and 4. Presented by Rally House. Your city, your house. PhillySportsTrips.com. Travel with the pros. And 97.5 The Fanatic.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just call 800-NEW-WINDOWS for your free consultation on top quality, affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS right now. Don't wait. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS. 800-NEW-WINDOWS.
I've been asked 1,000 times, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. When I started, there were just 2 of us. Today, Morgan & Morgan has almost 800 lawyers alone. No injury firm in the country has anywhere close to that. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Reputation matters. We grew like this because we worked hard and so many former clients referred family and friends. And what I believe is the main reason is we delivered for our clients a lot. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Hope is not a plan. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The world's biggest esport is about to get even bigger. In the short 3-year history of Valorant's existence, not a single new weapon has been added to the game. Weapons are everything in a game like Valorant, as it gives regular and professional players alike more options in their strategy. This week, the game's first new weapon, a sniper rifle called the Outlaw, has been leaked. While we aren't sure how it handles, its impact on the meta will surely be unmissable.
The latest esports and gaming news. Find it online at checkpointxp.com.
Some days, my active psoriatic arthritis makes it hard to get in the game. Now, the ball is in my court, thanks to treating my skin and joints with Skyrizi, Risankizumab Risa, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults.
Nothing is everything.
Skyrizi helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
It's playoff time, and your Philadelphia Union are up 1-0 in the best-of-3 series against the New England Revolution in the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs. Game 2 is at Gillette Stadium in New England on Wednesday, November 8th at 7 p.m. This is the Union's 6th consecutive season in the playoffs. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to the Union game on 97.5 TheFanatic.com, the Fanatic app, or on your smart speaker. Watch every Union game all season long on MLS Season Pass, presented by Live Casino and Hotel, Philadelphia.
Make Big Heads in Richboro your headquarters for all the Sixers game day action. Enjoy $3 Corona, Corona Light, and Corona Premier bottles and $3 Modelo drafts. Big Heads in Richboro is your neighborhood spot for food, fans, and fun.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa?"
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Philly sports fans, the energy of the city. 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is 1:21, 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm Andrew Salchunas. Our 1 o'clock hour brought to us by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin. Attention HVAC contractors for equipment, parts, and supplies for heating and cooling jobs. Visit one of Ferguson's counter locations in Ben Salem, King of Prussia, Pennsauken, or Westchester today. I'm going to explain why a lot of us, I'm not even saying I'm not a hypocrite, but I'm going to explain coming up soon why a lot of us are hypocrites about something that transpired. Was this yesterday? No, it was 2 days ago. The Jersey.
Was it even 2 days ago? Did he do it Sunday night right afterwards?
Might have been Sunday night. But
we talked about the response tweet. I think that was yesterday.
Okay. So I'll get to that in a little bit, because all of a sudden, I appreciate the sporting world realizing that I'm on the air on the Wednesday of an Eagles bye week. I appreciate it because they're hooking me up. I appreciate all the reports, all the rumors. All of a sudden, like, all kinds of stuff is happening. So the major baseball rumor that's out there does not involve the Phillies, but something involving the Phillies just happened during the break. Did you see this?
I did see that.
So I was walking down the hall. I was walking back. And John Morosi, who does a great job covering the major leagues for MLB Network, he tweets out that the Phillies, if they were to lose Aaron Nola in the offseason will be the top suitors for Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray had a very good season this year, and Sonny Gray's had a nice career. That can't be your number one option, or that can't be like the answer. I'm sorry. We talk about the Phillies being these big-time spenders, championship windows. It can't be Wheeler, Gray, Suarez. 1, 2, 3.
No.
And then Walker. And then, I guess Christopher Sanchez. I can't do that. I see a lot of people that aren't thrilled that it could be Snell over Nola. I would much rather it be Snell than Sonny Gray.
Yeah, but if those three options, I come back to the incumbent.
Nola. Maybe Nola doesn't want to be here anymore.
Or maybe Nola's going to be paid like crazy because teams see that over the last
value of how many innings he pitches, and also he's been one of the better pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, if you want to talk inconsistency amongst pitchers, inconsistency also amongst innings.
Yeah.
Gray and Snell both, I think, have gotten over 140 innings twice in the last 5 years.
And one of them was this past season for Gray, 184. So you
Correct.
go, is he going to be all right after this season?
And Snell, too. So
now, the thing that's crazy, I heard Ricky saying this during the break. So I saw the report. I'm coming back in the hallway, and they saw it too. And he just turned 34 yesterday.
Yes, he did.
I didn't realize he's 34. I know he pitched for the A's and then pitched for Cincinnati, and he's bounced around a little bit. But, geez, I didn't realize he's had an 11-year career already. So Sonny Gray, the Phillies will be in on Sonny Gray if they were to lose Aaron Nola. I don't know what kind of deal Sonny Gray gets at this age. Could you get Gray and Snell? If you're not putting your money into offensive bats, which you have already, can you get Gray and Snell? Because we keep on talking about another splashy offseason for the Phillies. So then you're going Wheeler, Snell, Gray, Suarez, Walker, which is very formidable.
And very expensive.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, Sonny Gray had a very good year. His last two, the year prior, he had an ERA of 3.08. That's a very good ERA, but only 119 innings, which is kind of alarming.
Do you run back the same lineup you had in the postseason if it means that you get Gray and Snell?
Yes. Okay. Because I don't think they go ice cold like that all the time. Except center field, because they already said Rojas is going to start in the minors. So you're going to have to get somebody.
Right. But that to me, like, it's eating away at what you're going to do offensively.
Still have a good lineup. This lineup doesn't stink.
No, it doesn't stink. It's not a bad lineup.
They all just completely freaking clammed up at the same time.
Yes.
Which is terrible.
Correct.
But a little, hot stove there. Sonny Gray for the Phillies if they were to lose Aaron Nola, but that's not a good enough replacement in my mind. The major baseball rumor per Bob Nightingale, who's a guy I respect a lot because, Bob and John Heyman, I really like. Jeff Passan breaks news first, it seems. Nightingale and Heyman are always hearing things. So Bob Nightingale, now I don't like the wording because it's maybe the most aggressive team, which is yes or no. But several GMs have told Bob Nightingale that the Cubs may be the most aggressive team for Ohtani. I don't want that man in the National League unless he's on the Phillies. But the Chicago Cubs could be in on Shohei Ohtani.
Well, it makes sense they're going to be aggressive. They just pulled off the ultimate move of the offseason already when it comes to manager.
Yeah, that was weird.
So they do that. Like, you're not going to just sit there on your hands. I mean, part of the reason Counsell and the Brewers, I think, end up not working out at the end is because he's looking around like, hey, I'm doing a decent job here. You guys want to, invest? You guys want to, pay people to play here so we have a little bit more for me to use? And obviously, there's the question of Burns and what they're going to do with him. So I could see why it didn't work out with him in Milwaukee. I don't think he's just showing up in Chicago all right, let's run back what David Ross had. No, he's showing up there with the promise of we're going to get you somebody. We're going to get you something. So I imagine they're going to be more aggressive than just Ohtani, though Ohtani is,
number one.
Quite an investment that somebody's going to make.
Yeah.
Now, he lost himself some money with the injury, but still quite the investment.
So just something to keep an eye on. I mean, he's still got the bat, though, right?
No, keep him out of this division.
Runs. Yeah, please.
If I can anything out. League, all right, fine. It's in the National League. I'll be frustrated with that. Please, not this division.
No. My man VG checks in for the Phillies. Get Gray and Snell, and then get Teoscar Hernandez, who had a down year, but still has pop. He plays left field for you. Marsh plays center. Castellanos in right. Schwarber's your DH if Harper decides to be the first base.
All right. You're not getting close to any balance in this lineup.
No.
I don't know. I feel like we spent
boom.
Yeah, that's great. We spent the last few days following the postseason of, wow, look at how the Diamondbacks were able to beat you playing baseball. Maybe we could use a little more balance in this lineup. They go after, he's not a bad player, but they go after him, and I'm sitting here like, okay, so.
Strikes out a lot, but hits home runs.
Right, okay. I've seen that player before. I've seen that player a number of times in this lineup. So, I don't know. I understand. I'm not going to be mad if Gray and Snell end up in Phillies uniforms. I just feel like there might be a little bit more to go around, and I can guarantee you that the number of times they go through the rotation where both Gray and Snell make their starts on time and both go 5 innings, probably going to be short on that.
Okay. All right, one more thing. And this was something random out there by Scott Boras. So Scott Boras, I don't know if he's talking to people. I don't know. All of a sudden, all these people have Scott Boras tweets. And Scott Boras wants the World Series to be at a neutral field.
Why?
I would hate that. I really hope baseball would not do that. That would probably be the dumbest thing. That would probably be the dumbest thing for baseball, is to do a neutral field World Series 7-game series. I would hate that.
Idiotic.
Yeah, okay. All right, that's the last of that.
What? Why? Why do we try to take things and just ruin them?
I don't know. Like the Super Bowl is fine as neutral field. Don't do it with baseball. Okay, I'm going to tell you how you're a hypocrite in a few minutes. But one more thing, because all this stuff has happened. So the NBA's back today. They were off yesterday, the entire league, because of voting day. The Houston Rockets are taking on the LA Lakers today. And you're probably sitting there going, what does that mean? It doesn't really mean anything to us. But I saw something on social media yesterday that just made me laugh. And if Sixers Celtics weren't playing tonight, I would watch Lakers Rockets. And here's why. Do you all remember Dylan Brooks? Dylan Brooks, of course. Oh, you've got the audio. We'll play that in a second. Dylan Brooks played for the Grizzlies last year and talked a lot of smack about how he was going to slow down the old man, LeBron James. Literally called him old. And LeBron James just goes out there and beats him down in a playoff series. Was it in 5 games? Or was it a sweep even? I forget how long the series went, but it wasn't long. And the Lakers took care of business against the Grizzlies. And the Grizzlies were like the darling team, right? The Grizzlies are the next team in the Western Conference. It was so bad to the point where the Grizzlies were begging to get him out of there. They just shipped him off. So he goes to the Rockets. This guy doesn't learn. Here he was from shoot-around earlier this week.
Ready to lock him up. Been shooting the ball well, he's been playing well, so I'm just there to make him tired, make him get into that, fourth quarter early.
I am ready to lock him up.
Ready to lock him up.
You don't think LeBron is going, really, dude, again? So if I'm LeBron James, let me see. I'm not really following LeBron James and the Lakers all that much. LeBron James, whoo. By the way, there's a lot of LeBron haters, still good ball player. He scored 30 the other night against the Heat, and he played 37 minutes. Scored 24, grabbed 9 boards in the previous game in 24 minutes against the Magic. He played 42 minutes in the previous game, 35 points, 12 boards, 7 assists. He's still playing at a very, very high level and does not look old and does not look tired. I don't think you getting him to the fourth quarter tired is going to do all that much. I'm rooting for Bron to put up 30 or 40 tonight against Dylan Brooks.
Oh, absolutely.
I hate Dylan Brooks.
It's just the dumbest.
What are you doing, dude?
Just show a little bit of growth here.
I'm
maybe
gonna lock
just
him up.
Excited for the matchup. Like, I don't need you to say you're going to lock him up. By the way, the LeBron James, I saw this stat, and I'm glad you brought up Dylan Brooks in this whole thing. From it's NBA Central, so it's one of the Dove Climate, all the agri things. LeBron James right now with him on the floor, Lakers offensive rating is 116. Without him, it drops to 91.2. Opponents score at 107.0 with him on the court, at 127.8 with him off the court. The differential with having him on the floor right now for Lakers is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's pretty big.
He's having a good start to the season.
Yeah.
I don't know why you poked the bear.
I don't know.
This is pour honey on me all over again.
Yeah, Dak Prescott. Yeah, so just something to pay attention to tonight. All right, now this is the last thing I want to get to because we've had all kinds of stuff. It's been a fun, busy show between ESPN analytics department disrespecting the Eagles per usual, a lot of Sixers fans disrespecting Joel Embiid per usual, how you're watching tonight's game, keeping the same energy for a win or a loss. We've had all kinds of stuff today. Keith Pompei was on earlier today. It was great talking about what the Sixers could do next with the trades. It's been a fun show. Something I saved for the end here. So the Eagles beat the Cowboys on Sunday, which was great. And Grant Williams, if you remember, he was on the Celtics. I hated him. Okay, so I'm not even all that happy that he was rocking an Eagles jersey, but whatever, you do you. I didn't like him.
Yeah.
He annoyed the hell out of me.
I didn't like him either. He's rocking a Kelsey jersey in Dallas. What do you mean? I'm not even that happy about that.
Where's he from? He's from Houston. What are you doing, dude?
Oh,
fraud.
Give me a break. Give me a break. God.
Anyways, Grant Williams now plays with the Dallas Mavericks. He's no longer with the Boston Celtics. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks, and you just heard Ray say it. After the Eagles beat the Cowboys, Grant Williams, to his post-game press conference at the podium, wore a Reggie White Kelly Green jersey. Dallas Mavericks. Dallas Cowboys. He's rocking an Eagles jersey, which, okay, that's kind of cool. And so, a lot of people celebrated that, right? Tad Prescott, is that his Dak Prescott's brother? Or is that just a guy who's Tad Prescott?
His brother. He was addressed as his brother by, I think, Grant Williams.
Okay, so Tad Prescott was not happy about this. And I'm trying. Here you go. Here's the tweet. He must be Dak's brother because he's retweeting everything Dak related, or he just really likes Dak Prescott. I don't know. But Grant Williams wears the jersey, and he quote tweets it and says, "Is he bleeping serious? You play for a Dallas franchise, and this is the bleep you pull. Must not want the love of the fans or city." And then he follows up with, "Let Joel Embiid do a press conference at a Cowboys jersey, and then let's see the comments section. You people are hilarious. I forgot why I deleted this app quickly. I am remembering." All right, well, then just stay off the thing, whatever. A lot of people are like, let him do whatever he wants. Dude, I remember Don Brown wearing a Cowboys hat, and we lost our minds. I remember Jalen Hurts more recently wearing a Houston Astros hat. And I saw Dylan, our great Dylan McKinnon, tweet out a lot of people were supportive of him because he's from the Houston area. There are also a lot of people that were not supportive of Jalen Hurts wearing a Houston hat. And it was right around the playoffs, right? Last year? Or did he end up wearing a Phillies hat last year? I forget what it was. But hold on a second. Don't give me Dylan, I love you. Don't give me the whole, there were a lot of people that were supportive. There were a lot of people that hated it too. And so what I find funny is we celebrate the fact that Grant Williams is wearing the Kelly Green jersey. We get mad at this Tad Prescott dude who's calling him out on it. But he's right, man. If Joel Embiid wore a Cowboys hat or something, a lot of you would lose your minds. Just like you did when Allen Iverson wore Cowboys stuff. So it's kind of a little hypocritical, right? A little bit.
Be a hypocrite. I don't care. God, I don't need to walk the fine line when it comes to controlling the Cowboys. I'll enjoy it. I'll let a Houston native rock an Eagles jersey and laugh at it. I'm cool with it because it's setting off Cowboys fans. Now, did I love the Devontae Smith Celtics stuff? No, I didn't love that. I would prefer not to ask Tyrese Maxey who his favorite football team was. There's a lot of things that one of those I pretend I do not see.
Yeah, Maxey's a Cowboys fan.
I don't see, but I'm just going to let that one roll. I'm going to be honest with you.
The second he wears a Cowboys something around here.
Oh, it's going to be a problem.
And he's our darling.
Yes, absolutely.
Tyrese Maxey is basically everybody's favorite player because he's done no wrong. Second he wears something Cowboys, look out. Now he's smart not to.
Absolutely. But
dude, Devontae Smith got eviscerated on social media.
Correct.
Eviscerated. He was at the playoff games actively rooting for the Celtics.
Yes.
So, we love it when Grant Williams is wearing his Eagles jersey in Dallas.
There's a chance Devontae's there tonight doing it.
Yeah, I guarantee you he is. They're on the bye week, unless he's did he recently have a kid? Maybe he's at home.
Regardless,
remember he did the touchdown celebration
Yes,
week 1?
that's right.
So maybe he's at home with the baby.
Or he's there.
Or he's at Sixers Celtics, actively rooting for the Celtics.
Listen,
we're hypocrites when it comes to this
absolutely
stuff.
We are. Am I going to love it? Am I in love with the thought of that happening? No. I understand the guy grew up somewhere else. That's his team. Like, if we're going to celebrate the guys from Philly that end up doing it, like, if you're going to be, Mike Trout's at the Eagles game, like, all right. Oh, sorry. I mean, there's nothing really to a Rams or Chargers or something out there. Like, it's not the same feeling because they're a fraudulent fan base as it is. But I'll be okay with it. Like, I'll probably have my disgusting feelings about it. I don't love it. But I absolutely want to bask in the trolling of the Dallas fan base during this. Especially considering that's a fan base that, if they're so bent out of shape, also Prescott, I don't know if he pays attention to Micah Parsons at all in the offseason, but it's not like there is only one Dallas-based athlete right now that supports Philadelphia sports. Like, Parsons is very much bought in to everything Philadelphia. So, maybe think a little bit before you start firing off the
I saw somebody respond with Micah Parsons wearing a Sixers jersey.
It's like,
are you going to say anything to Micah, or are you too scared?
No, you're not going to say anything to Micah. And also, the whole, I should have gotten off of this app when I remember. Get off the app.
Yeah, it's like Rager. Jalen Rager deletes his account 65 times.
Yeah, I don't need it, but I'm going to be honest with you. I'm okay with being a hypocrite if I enjoy a good trolling.
All right.
That's
fine. You do you, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here ripping the guy on social media for wearing it. I'll have the little, twinge of, I don't like the fact that he's in it, but I can't tell a guy how to live. You grew up a fan of that team.
A lot of people get upset online.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Like, if you, if I'm trading for cash considerations to Cleveland, I'm not going to all of a sudden become a Cleveland sports fan.
No, of course not.
No.
Why would you?
Philadelphia.
No. All right, so we got Sixers Celtics tonight, 7 o'clock on the station. Also, by the way, Union playing today against New England. If they win, they move on to the next round, take on Cincinnati, as we figured that out during the program today. So go Union. Big day in sports tonight. Flyers lost yesterday, by the way, to San Jose. Yeah, I kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, it just has a feeling one of those spots.
Yeah, they're starting to go downhill a little bit, and that's been the plan. It's to lose, tank. It's been the plan, so don't worry about it.
Don't use the tank word.
Sorry. So Sixers Celtics tonight, and what I started the show with today was talking about my homework assignment for you, and I'm going to reiterate it one more time before we get out of here. Best show ever coming your way at 2:00. My homework assignment for you tonight, if you're watching, because I know a lot of you are checked out, and you're not going to watch until the playoffs, or you might not watch at all until they get out of the second round of the playoffs. Whatever, you do you. I mean, look, it's been painful, man. It's been a long stretch, long time of not reaching expectations. But my homework assignment for you, if you're watching the game tonight, is to keep the same energy from tip-off until tomorrow. And what I mean by is, if the Sixers were to win today, I want you to call in tomorrow and celebrate the victory. The same way you would probably complain about a loss. Because I know how a lot of Sixers fans operate. I've been doing this long enough to read the room. When something does not go the way you want it to, you are the first to complain. But if they win, you don't want to give them their props. So the Sixers this year, for me, all 82 games, educational for me. I'm going to get all the education that I need to determine what I think the Sixers do come playoff time. And oh, by the way, this roster is not the finished product, in my opinion. Or at least my hope. I hope Daryl Morey makes another move at some point this year to shore up this team with the draft capital that you got in the trade for James Harden. But you make the trade, make the team better, and then maybe I'll have a little bit more of an opinion. But right now, it's all educational for me. Celebrate the highs, grouse about the lows, but not talk about this is why they're never going to win or this is why they are going to win. Nope. Not doing that till the end of the season. Ray, the zapper might have to be if I ever, go out of line with the Sixers talk. You stop me, okay? I'll have opinions. They'll be strong. But if I ever go as far as say, like, you know what? This is the year they win the championship. You hit me with that. If I say something like, yeah, see, this is why they're never going to win, you hit me with that. Because I know a lot of Sixers fans will watch tonight's game looking for Joel Embiid to have a bad game. Right? Because we had the caller yesterday. Well, they've played 6 games this year. His 5 good games have been against teams that are bad or the Suns that only had Kevin Durant. His one game he didn't play well was the one game that really meant something. That was the Milwaukee Bucks. So I think people watch to see Joel Embiid not play to the level of expectations that I have. We had a caller earlier today saying trade him for Jaylen Brown straight up. But the Celtics won't do it. Or no, I said the Celtics won't do it because the Celtics just paid him all that money. But he's like, oh, but if he's the MVP, wouldn't you trade him? Yeah, it's my point. He stinks. He's not the guy. You're not going to win. How do you know that? You don't know that yet. Guy's MVP for a reason and runner-up twice the years prior. But there's a lot of people that look to see if Joel Embiid doesn't play well. There's a lot of people that watch to see, all right, this is why the Sixers aren't going to get through again. If the Sixers are to win today and it's an impressive game, I want you to have that same energy and not say, oh, well, that was just a win in November. Because I know that's how a lot of you will act. So your homework assignment, if you are watching the game tonight, and if you're watching with a critical eye, if they look good out there tonight, give them their flowers tomorrow. Ray, if you were to guess right now, would those people give them the flowers tomorrow if they were to win the night?
No. No, they're not going to give flowers tomorrow. They win. You're lucky if anyone is given the appreciation. They could win, and tomorrow I would be...
No, there are some people that will be very excited. But I'm talking strictly...
No, those people,
Those people, yeah.
The people that would be very activated by a loss, they would be more likely to find the pitfalls and the excuses for the Celtics than they would the things that went well and the reasons why you should have enjoyed that basketball game. And it's just the cynical amongst us. It's those... And there will be people, I think, that give a side eye to the game, that promise they wouldn't come back, and they will quickly disappear if it goes the way of the Sixers, because they'll be, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, see, this is why I wasn't watching them this year. This is why I was hesitant to get bought in. And that's the thing. Like, I like the way I'm doing it, the way Karate Mark's doing it. It's kind of like, all right, I'm going to have fun this year and enjoy it. And the highs, I'll celebrate them, but I'm not going to go over the top with, getting my hopes up and put my heart out there. They can't hurt you anymore, man. They've hurt us enough.
Glad you feel that way.
Well, I'm sorry that you don't. Look, I understand it. I understand it. It's because here's the deal. They are still contenders, so we're going to talk ourselves into it at some point.
Right. Well, it's the tense energy of making sure they build something that can contend in the time frame they have. I wish I could get to the just pure enjoyment, but I will enjoy it. Like, again, if they win tonight and they have a good game, I'm going to enjoy watching them do it. I just continue to have the voice in the back of the mind. Hey, this all has to lead somewhere.
Don't get too excited because
not even that. It's just this has to lead somewhere.
Right.
It's not like you know where this is going.
They're going to be in the second round again.
Yeah, I agree.
They will be. They're going to be in the second round of the playoffs again this year.
But that's not even like so much from my viewpoint is not so much of like, oh, I know how this movie ends. Welcome to Groundhog's Day. It's more just like this has to lead somewhere.
Okay.
What are you seeing that's going to lead somewhere?
All right. Lastly, before we get out of here, I do have to tell you something that I did out of pure desperation out of fantasy football. I did sign him,
No.
Yep.
Oh, my.
I told you, I can't find a quarterback. Justin Fields will be back soon. So I hope Justin Fields is all right. I'm in desperation mode, man, just like the LA Rams are. I had to pick him up. There's no one else out there.
You're a coward for saving this to 149.
Oh, I don't want the backlash of the people. Nobody else is available, dude. Oh, am I going to pick up Tommy DeVito?
Tommy DeVito and Carson Wentz were the two options. There was not a single other option out there.
There's a couple other guys out there. Mm-hmm. There's a couple other guys.
Yeah. Good work. Good work on your part.
Buying the stock low. Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. By the way, Kupp is also my wide receiver on that team, so I need this guy to play well.
Good luck. I can't believe that.
It's been a rough year.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year, man. So it's
by the way,
purely out of desperation.
Work league this week.
Yes?
You and I again.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So Ray and I. So what's that? I mean, we do the coffee bill. What's this one?
Oh, man.
I believe I'm 1-0 in our head-to-head matchups this year in fantasy football.
That was week 1. I mean, if you're really taking something out of an early September matchup, I don't know if you're really a football guy.
People do it with the Sixers. They lose tonight. So, season's over.
This man, my
team. Why can't I do it about the fantasy football league we got?
I mean, it just seems like you're jumping to conclusions a little too soon. No.
Oh God! By the way, so the Rams just tweeted out the official. My man still can't dress.
Oh no! They tweeted a picture with it.
Yeah, the pullover's fine. Just look at the hat. Go ahead, look it up. It's a Rams Twitter account at Rams NFL. It's a. I hate to say it for a lot of people listening. It's a walk around Fishtown hat. Because my buddy Joe has this hat. I'm pretty sure, just maybe with a different logo.
Oh, jeez.
Like, yo, dude, you are a millionaire. You are a millionaire. What are you doing with this hat?
You really do just rat on Fishtown a lot. I got a lot of questions for the experiences you've had there.
First town I think of when it comes to like a hat like that. Like, where's the hipster town? Northern Liberties?
All right, relax.
Hipster town.
Stop taking shots, all right?
I'm not taking shots. Hipsters are cool. I just told you, my buddy Joe lives there. He's a hipster. Hipsters are cool, but like you're Carson Wentz, bro.
The gray camo.
It's fine. Whatever. I like the quarters there. It's nice. All right. Anyways.
Collar flipped up. I don't know, man.
Yeah, the collar's got to.
What are we doing here?
Everybody have a great rest of your day. Best show ever next right here, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Fanatic Sports Update.
Out with Boston tonight. I'm Ray Dunn. This update is brought to you by Ashley Home Stores. Mattress free for all. Make a fresh start in your new home with a fresh look from Ashley. Shop now for amazing deals on furniture, mattresses, decor, and so much more. Ashley, America's #1 furniture and mattress store. Feels good to be home. 76ers host the Celtics tonight. Sixers won 5 in a row. Entered the game 5-1, tied with Celtics for the best record in the Eastern Conference. It's the first match for the two teams since the Sixers collapsed in games 6 and 7 in the second round last year. Joel Embiid enters the game coming off a 48-point performance in 3 quarters versus the Wizards. Catch the game live at 7 p.m. right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Keith Pompei joined the show early to talk all things Sixers. Catch that conversation one more time at 97.5thefanatic.com. Flyers fell to the Sharks 2-1 last night. San Jose entered the game winless on the season. Now the Flyers have lost 5 of their last 6, back in action on Friday night against the Anaheim Ducks. Eagles enjoying the bye, coming off the big 28-23 win over the Cowboys. The Eagles have the best record in the NFL right now. Union postseason series with New England Revolution continues tonight. They hold a 1-0 advantage of the best of 3. Catch the live call on WWDB and streaming at 97.5thefanatic.com. Keep it locked here for all the latest news and information. I'm Ray Don, the home for the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic.
The big sports stories everyone is talking about in Philadelphia. The John Kincaid Show. Tomorrow morning 6 to 10 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Hey guys, Bob Cooney here. Imagine if your favorite casino came with an undo button. Well, guess what? You get that with FanDuel Casino's Play It Again. Get up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. Play your favorite table games and hundreds of slots for real cash. See why FanDuel Casino's the #1 rated online casino app? I've told you so many times how much fun it is to look at their daily and their weekly promotions. And when you play with a live dealer. And should you ever have any questions, the best in-class customer support team, they are there all the time. Sign up for FanDuel Casino with FanDuel.com/Bob today and play it again with up to $1,000 back if you're down after your first day. That's FanDuel.com/Bob.
21 plus and present in PA must not have previously placed any wager on FanDuel Sportsbook, FanDuel Casino, Betfair Casino, Mohegan Sun Casino, or Stardust Casino. Refund issued as non-withdrawable casino-only site credit that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG.
Hi, it's John Kincaid. You realize it's getting cold out, right? But it's not supposed to be cold inside your house. You realize that, right? Those old drafty windows, it's going to make your furnace work in overdrive this winter. So what do you want to do? Do you want to pay unnecessarily high energy bills? Of course not. You want to call Window Nation at 866-90Nation. And you want to check them out online at windownation.com because their energy-efficient windows are designed for climate changes, and they're going to help keep the cold out during the winter, and they're also going to help you lower your monthly energy costs